live. We're gonna actually start in just a moment.
Let me grab my glasses.
I always love watching Dylan fade into the background.
Of a stock image.
Yeah.
Phases in and out of reality. That's what it's like.
Mom said it's my turn on Roll20.
Okay. All right. Testing. Okay. Coming in good. I think the music's all right. It might be a bit loud. I think that's fine. Okay. Well, either way, we are starting because we're live just when Dylan disappeared. Well,
Yay! Oh,
Oh,
he's
God.
always watching.
he is always watching. Either way, welcome back everyone to roll. Wait, why is our tag thing gone? Roll call. I believe it is Dylan's turn to do the recap because he volunteered. But since he's not here, let's go with some character introductions before we get started. And of course, I don't. There it is. All right. So today, the person to introduce themselves first will be
Dylan.
Actually, it would be Robert. Robert,
Alrighty.
make sure you pass it off to the next person while I finish.
Sure thing. Well, hello everybody. My name is Robert. I'm playing Tingle Rumbletron. He's a gnomish armorer artificer and just recently was cured of werewolfism, otherwise known as lycanthropy. And he's walking around in a clanking suit of mechanotech armor, because that's his thing. And right now, he just had a bit of a freak out because Zubrik started mentioning some places that Tingle really did not want him to talk about or go near. And now I'm going to pass it off to Toby.
I knew it was gonna be me too. I was like, not me. I'm Toby, or Adrian. I play Emilio, the Shadar Kai Drow Circle of Stars Druid. He is dark purple skin. That's how sentences work. Silver hair, freckles that look like stars, and a big gash across the right side of his face. He is currently pursuing some information he found in a letter from his mom's saying to go to a certain little man that I cannot wait to meet in this campaign. And I will pass it off to Gia.
Thank you. I'm Gia. I'm playing Valsira, aka the Wanderer. She is a. Okay, Juno wants to join in this introduction. She is a monster slayer ranger. She is a purple tiefling with dark curly hair, and she wears a lot of black and sunglasses all the time. Let's go with the disappearing man, Dylan.
Hi, I'm Dylan. I'm playing Zubrik Olumu Luisi. Currently, I don't know where or who I am, but there's some nice people with me, and one of them has a quarter of my drugs, so I need to keep an eye out. I'm a conjuration wizard, hobgoblin, anthropologist, and I just got mugged, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm gonna pass it off to Clover.
Hello, I'm Clover. I'm a life cleric of Liara. I am a halfling. I have olive skin with freckles, long red hair, usually keep it in a bun or tied up. And I found another person who has an affliction similar to me, known as the Seer. and I had a nice conversation with them. And by that, I mean Emilio had a nice conversation with them. I was in the back watching. I'll pass it off to the captain.
I guess other than Pete, last but not least, I am Ian. I'm incredibly tired, but for like the half hour I will be here tonight, as you can see from the bags under my eyes. Oh, Jesus Christ. I am playing Amos Bloodbeard Orst. He is 1 part fighter, 3 part rogue, throwing a dash of swashbuckler, and mix violently in a glass of Zerial Tiefling. And that is who he is. He is actually going on a little mini scouting, carousing adventure with Wanderer right now, trying to figure out what makes this lost and found place tick. While the others are having their own little fun journeys and horrible character realizations, who knows what shenanigans await the two of us tonight. And I'm going to pass it over to the man with the plan, Mr. Parky Park.
That's me. Yes. Well, I will be your dungeon master for this campaign in the world of Særald. And I believe Dylan has the recap ready for us. All right.
Yeah.
Give us the recap, Dylan. Where are we at?
Alright. It's not very long because I'm doped up and I didn't want to write it down because that makes sense. We arrived at, how's it pronounced, Peter? Athera?
Athera.
Athera, okay. We arrived at Athera. The bits and pieces that are coming back to my memory lead me to believe I spent a lot of money on a suit for my bug. Not too sure why now. Anyhow, we met some weird people outside the gates. The less intelligent ones spent their money. The more intelligent ones found a drug dealer. Me, that was me. We traveled inside the city. I went to go buy a suit for my bug. And then something attacked the city. It looked massive. Tingle tried to cast light on a cannonball and shoot it, but he's smarter than that. I'm not too sure what he was on. Didn't work. It was Prince Nazir, apparently, showing how big his dick was. Still pretty small in my opinion. Anyhow, not important. I bought a suit for my bug. I found some drugs. I got mugged. And I woke up in a tavern.
Okay. The only part that was missing, I want to say as a recap, was the things that Robert mentioned about how you asked I believe it's the
Spyglass Foundation?
Yeah, about where Cherry Grove is. Where Tingle reacted in a very suspicious and weird manner, got flustered and ran out of there like a weirdo. And Clover also learned, Clover and Amelia learned of Clover's affliction and somebody that's gone through his shoes for a little longer. But yeah, I believe we are picking up today with Valsira and Amos Bloodbeard as they are making their way, asking around the city of Athera to find their way to the lost and found.
Correct.
Whoa. Okay. So, you all are everyone else is going their separate ways. Val and Bloodbeard, you guys are on the streets making your way, asking around some of the guards. It's not hard to find. It's actually, let me just get this proper thing open. Okay. All right. So the lost and found can be found in Noon's Way, where some of the taverns and the other guilds are. So you're pretty close to Zubrick and where Zubrick and Tingle have gone. You just have to go in a slightly opposite direction. As you guys arrive in front of Lost and Found, there's a large kind of gilded sign with the name. There is a wall that kind of clings to the front half of the building, front right corner of the building, and it seems to be a 2-story building. Well made, however, there are weeds kind of growing outside. It doesn't seem to be kept well. And the lights seem to be on the inside, but they are relatively dim from what you can tell on the outside, with the curtain slightly being drawn. So that's where you two are at. Let me know what you're doing. As for, I do want to ask, while they are doing their thing, what is everyone else doing real quick?
Emilio and Clover are shopping for friendship necklaces for everybody.
Okay, so you guys went shopping.
Yep.
And Zubrik and Tingle?
Well, Zubrik just confronted Tingle about in an alley, so do you want to pick up there?
No, that's probably like, okay, so you guys are gonna like do a little more talking, basically, afterwards.
If you want to.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep that in mind. I just wanted to know what you guys might have been up to is all. All right, so Val and Bloodbeard, what are you doing?
Well, my goodness, Twitch. Sorry, I got a bunch of Twitch notifications for some reason. Bloodbeard is kind of looking this place over, up and down. And he kind of looks over at Wander. It's like, so do we just kind of go in?
I mean, shouldn't we knock, maybe?
I will say, as you guys approach the door, you guys see the walled off area to the right is a gated sand pit. You could see the gate, you can see the sand pit. Again, there are kind of weeds growing in the area, probably haven't been used for quite a while. And there's also a large owlbear just lounging in that area, almost like a pen.
It's an unusual pet.
I didn't think owlbears liked the sand.
I didn't think they liked the city either, but here we are.
I wonder what kind of zoning permits they had to get for that thing.
That's a good question. Why don't we ask them? I'm gonna go and knock on the door.
Okay, you knock on the door. You hear the knock kind of ringing through the hall behind it. There's no answer.
I'm gonna try to open the door.
Okay. The door opens and kind of creaks as you open it.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around and look at Bloodbeard. and
Bloodbeard is
gesture
like,
after you.
as you're like turning around, Bloodbeard is already walking past you to go inside.
Okay.
Great, perfect.
He's gonna poke his little tiefling head in there, just kind of like stare around, see what he sees.
Okay. When you enter, you would see a large hall. 4 pillars hold up the towards the corners of the room, hold up the balcony that seems to connect all the upper floor rooms together. The roof is domed, and the fire pit in the middle of this hall, above the fire pit in the middle of this hall to let out the smoke up above. And there are 2 stairways that lead up to the balcony on your left and immediate right. To the left side of the hall, between 2 large double doors, or on the left and right side of the 2 large double doors, there are these kind of pedestals and stands of odd objects. Some that might look a little valuable, others not so much. And you would also see a few kind of carvings or statues along that side. On the right side, you can see another hallway that leads further into the back end of the with probably more rooms, and in the back you could see kind of a window and a doorway into what looks like a kitchen. You swear as soon as you stick your head in, something near the back door, next to the kitchen, something large kind of looming, steps through, hunches down and steps through into the next room over and closes the door behind it.
Humanoid?
It looked humanoid.
they've stepped into the room we're in, or
No, into another room in the back.
okay, they didn't notice us. It seems like.
No, or they didn't
Alright.
care.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, I'm assuming we want to be noticed. I can go.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up to that window. Just keep
Sure.
an eye out in case that big thing decides that it's actually a burglar and not a server. Bloodbeard is going to saunter
Okay.
up towards the window, towards the kitchen, and he is going to lean on it and look to see if he sees anything in there.
Okay, you look in the kitchen. It looks like it's been used. It looks like it's been used quite a bit. It hasn't been cleaned probably in a while though. It's kind of messy in the kitchen with some scraps and still dirty plates around the sink. You could see that there, whatever they had last night, it doesn't seem like it's a lot of people living here, as the plates haven't piled high in like a crazy amount. But yeah.
Bloodbeard is going to look for a bell. He's going to assumably see none. And then he's going to cast Thaumaturgy and be like, whose chum bucket do I have to scrub to get some service around here?
You would hear a door opening above you, probably the balcony area where you could see the doors to the other rooms, and you would see someone kind of flip over, catch the railing, and just kind of drop down, pretty light-footed onto the floor in front of you. It is a I would say a middle-aged looking Kenku. Has simple like leather armor, doesn't look super fancy or anything. There are a few what's called scars and a few patches of feathers missing, probably from years of work in the field as an adventurer. But you could see he looks at you and he looks at the others, puts his hand to the dagger to his side, and then he opens his mouth and goes, "Who are ya?"
I'm Bloodbeard, and who are you, my fine feathered friend?
"Oh, you're Errol.
No. Oh, yes, Genkus. Almost forgot about that bit. Pleasure to meet you, Errol.
I'm going to approach as well.
Okay.
And wave. Hello, I'm the Wanderer.
You can see he takes his hand off the hilt and crosses his arms, but when he does, you can see a dagger just kind of floats out of the hilt behind his back and around in front of him. It's floating around him. He lets out a little whistle, and you see from above in the balcony area of Valsera, you would see a large bear just kind of pushing its way through a doorway as the floors creak underneath it, and it just kind of sits on the balcony looking at you.
Just a bear, not an owl bear?
No, it looks like a large bear. Large brown bear.
All right. Well, that is a fine friend that you have there, but we were wondering if Bloodbeard, who are we looking for?
Someone keeps calling him Lord Lanrick.
Oh, yes.
You say that, and you see the Kenku kind of roll his eyes at that and go, "Lanrick, Lord Lanrick, are you here?" As you know, there's a bit of silence, and you hear a bunch of locks kind of and mechanical things shifting around in the corner of the room, and the door kind of creaks open with more of a metallic sound than the wooden sounds of the other doors that you've heard here so far. And you hear, "Who is it? If you're here trying to sell me anything, get lost."
I mean, I have like a gold ring if you really want it, but no, we're not here to sell stuff.
What do you want then? You know, I'm a busy man.
Yes, I could tell. All of those dishes. Honestly, I swore someone said that you guys had like a little mead hall thing going on here. I came to drink, kind of figure out what your deal is. Friend of mine's looking for you. Oh, whoa, oh. Wanderer hit me. I just got Emilio a friend. A friend of mine is looking for you. Just trying to, scope
I'm
the
gonna hit
scene.
him.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, if you're here for drinks, you can pay. But after that, you need to leave. Unless you're gonna want to work for me.
I mean, I am kind of a broke bitch.
Well, then I have a wonderful job for you. How much do you value your life? Or at
Well,
least
I haven't
the
gone to therapy recently, so trying to figure some stuff out. I might be lowballing myself right now.
as he listens to you for a bit, he goes, all right, well, sit down, wait a minute, and I'll be right down with you. Errol, make sure they don't steal anything, and get them something to drink. As Errol kind of lets out this kind of groan, he goes to the back in the kitchen. You can see him tinkering with a few things, and then he sets he kind of points you all to a table nearby that's still set up in the hall. And once you hear and finish hearing this kind of tinkering sound, you'll see two little cups, like mugs with legs, just kind of across the floor. Nearby, there's no way for the cups to actually get on the table, so they just kind of stop when they get to the table. And they seem to be full with some kind of alcohol when you give it a whiff.
Great.
Bloodbeard's diving right in.
Okay. It's nasty. It's like stale ale, basically.
Well, it's a little better than grog. I'll give you that much.
I'm gonna take one sip and then just shake my head and put it down.
Bloodbeard will reach over, grab it,
Yes.
and down it.
As you guys are talking, the table is nearby that door where you saw the large figure kind of go into and close the door behind. You hear the door open, and you hear kind of a step, another step, and it's large. As you turn around, you see that it's a large myconid. The doesn't seem to have eyes, but seems to kind of gaze in your direction. Then
Lord Landrick, I think you really should do those dishes. I believe they're evolving into some sort of higher form of life.
you would hear, you have no idea what you're talking about. Now shut up and wait.
Is the myconid doing anything or just staring at us?
It seems to be gazing in your direction, but you're not sure if it's looking at you or trying to size you up or what.
Bloodbeard's gonna stare at it, lock eyes, and just stare.
Okay. You would see that it releases a puff of spores. Like in your general direction, what are you all doing? As soon as you see this happen.
Can I do a nature check to see how much I would know about a myconid?
Yeah, sure.
Bloodbeard's gonna try to fart to assert dominance.
Yeah. Yeah, you let out, you rip a
Great.
fart. 12? You know that those kind of creatures would exist, mostly in the Underdark, so it's odd to see it living above ground. But you've heard of them before. You're not sure what they are about though with that roll.
Okay, so I don't know that the spores, what they mean.
No. So what do you do?
Okay. Well, do I receive any information from the spores?
So you're just gonna sit there, basically?
Yeah, Bloodbeard's gonna sit there. He's gonna let it, he's gonna show how unaffected he is by this thing's fart. so that he can reign supreme.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I will just sit there like exasperated by these party boys.
As the spores kind of fall upon both of you, you would hear, "Why are you in our home?"
Who said that?
Another kind of little puff of spores as they gently land on you. You would like hear in your minds, both of you. I am Porto. I guard the plants and the creatures here. Why have you interrupted our lives?
Well, honestly, I was trying to get a drink, and trying to figure out what the deal is with this Lord Lanric fellow. He's kind of got the motley crew, an owlbear, a bear, a talking bird thing, and the psychic mushroom.
Mr. Lanric is no longer a lord from what I remember.
Ooh.
Seems we've been misinformed.
Well, to be fair, once a lord, always a lord in your hearts. Once a captain, always a captain. I'm technically not a captain anymore, but God's help the person that doesn't call me Captain Bloodbeard.
If you don't own a ship or control a ship, you are no longer a captain. Am I right?
You watch your mouth, you giant psychic mushroom. Or your mycelium? I don't actually know much about mushroomadry.
Mr. Zolden taught me well. And I'm sure I remember him saying... I think it was Zolden. Give me a second. I just want to make sure. Yes, it was Zolden. Mr. Mossgrip. Zolden Mossgrip taught me well. I remember him saying that a captain without a helm is no longer a captain. You can't tell. There's no expression on it. Yeah. As you're glaring, like just annoyed at what he's saying, you would hear footsteps coming down.
The beard like leans over to the cup. Gets me another drink, cup.
You would see the cup actually stand up, jump off the table, and run into the kitchen. It does not come back. It can't reach the ale.
He tried.
As you guys are as you tell the cup to go run, you would hear the door, metallic door again upstairs opening, and slowly coming down the stairs you would hear a slighter footstep. Errol has kind of prepared a meal for himself, it seems like, and sat down at a different table, and the brown bear has made its way down too and enters the kitchen. As for you guys, you would know him as Lord Loston, but Loston comes up, pulls up a chair, and he sits down, and he seems to have a stack of papers in his hands. And he's like, all right, so you are both capable adventurers. Am I right?
I mean, so far.
Well, all adventurers are capable until they don't come back. That is, if you're working for Lost and Found.
I'm not sure that I'm here to work, but it seems Bloodbeard is interested.
Honestly, I just like money at this point. This contract-looking thing is a little much. Honestly, I'm not really sure why we're trying to find you. I'm just trying to figure out what your deal is. I thought I ran a weird ship back in the day, but this is fucking nuts. Where'd you find half these people?
They came here, they call it home, and they work here. Now, the rest of them that used to work here, fuck him. They don't work here anymore, so screw them. As he says that, there's like a hint of annoyance in his voice. You could tell that Lost and Found's kind of dilapidated a bit over the last...
A little more lost than found.
Yeah, a little more lost than it is found. Yeah. So he's like, well, if you're not here for work, then you need to pay for the ale.
I figured I was paying for it anyway. What do I owe you?
5 silver per glass. I believe that was 2, which is very expensive, by the
Yeah,
way.
that's pretty steep.
Wow, I didn't know that you were also a master of highway robbery. Is that how you drove away your workers? Charge them 5 silver for that grog. I'll pay it, but only because it brought back great memories. He's gonna flip him a gold.
Yes, and I'm sure it's not the owlbear outside, the massive myconid, and or the 2 wonderful, and as he says that, a large half orc. Imagine more like a half orc version of Aquaman from like the recent movies. Steps out in like a bit of hide. He has a plate that he's thrown a few little things on. Steps out and sits next to Errol.
Does he look like Jason Momoa? Like,
Yeah,
in
like
terms of attractiveness?
attractiveness and build.
Interesting.
Yeah. But either way, he's like, Lawson's like, and I'm sure they didn't have anything to do with you paying.
I mean, honestly, I feel like they wouldn't pay for that crap either. I might be able to win them over if it came down to it.
You can try, but this is their home as much as it is mine.
So, like, I gotta ask, as one person who's had issues with staffing to another, what happened, my guy?
No issues. I have no idea what you're talking about. Lost and Found is a successful adventuring business venture, and it always has been.
Come on, you could tell old Captain Bloodbeard.
You would hear Owl go, they didn't return. None of them returned, in Loston's voice, and it sounds a little younger than it has been. But yeah.
Okay, so you had a lot of people that didn't return. That doesn't seem like a great success.
I have no,
Bloodbeard's like,
I have, I have no idea what that bird was talking about. Now, are you here to work? Or am I just gonna have to kick you out after you've had a nice drink at in my establishment?
Well, a friend of ours might be looking for work. Not really sure what his deal is, but he really wants to find you.
Nobody wants to find me.
Oh, he does. It's so much it's delaying our travels elsewhere.
Where are all you headed anyways? You don't mind me
Barteras.
asking.
Barteras Bay.
And you plan on going up past let me just remember. Let me just remember this real quick. And you plan on traveling through Wolfwater, is that it?
If it's on the way.
And let me guess, former pirate captain?
I mean, I'm only a former pirate captain if you're a former lord. But yes, kind of. Pirate captain.
When you say that, his smirk just fades.
It's always there in your heart. Don't let them tell you otherwise.
Well, if you're looking for a job, I have a few information that you probably should know. I'm surprised you are gonna make your way through Wolfwater yourself. I already lost his voice, guys.
That's all good. Dylan, what the fuck?
Dylan, tag in on this voice. Read Peter's mind and know what he was gonna say.
You bitch.
Sounds right.
I mean, and why would that be strange?
Because you're a pirate. And by the way, at this point, I guess you could give me a history check. Because he did mention Wolfwater twice.
Yeah.
Just for Bloodbeard. You're sure that the Navy, like, the main capital headquarters is here, but another big headquarters for the Marines of Athera are based in Wolfwater. And it's like, there is a road that goes straight through it to Barteras Bay. Probably not a good path for you.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I don't have a ship. They can't prove anything.
Yes. Well, I bore of this.
Oh, I thought you were foreplaying at some job that was going to take us around Wolf's.
Oh, so
Wolf's.
you're interested in the job now?
Listen, if it's helping me and helping you, I told you I'm a broke ass bitch.
Well, I have a few jobs, but only one that leads north. Have you ever heard of the town of Ogaris?
Have I?
Probably not. It's kind of a smaller, swampy town, and he'll tell you that soon. So.
Never heard of it. What about you, Wanderer?
No.
Well, Ogaris is a small little town in the swamps, useful for some herbal and materials, I guess, for the city. They sent a little request that I've managed to get my hands on, and these two don't want to go that far, as they are only working in the city, as they say.
Who's these two?
He points over to the other table.
To the Jason Momoa guy?
Yeah, and the Kenku.
I mean, I feel like they could come with us if they want to.
You would hear Errol from across go in an old man's voice. I'm retired.
Okay, how about you? And I nod my head towards the half orc.
This is my home. This is my den. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if we're going on the way, it helps you out, helps us out.
Now, how would I know you would return with the money once the job's done, though?
I mean, listen, I'd probably pay that kind of money to have that half-orc beat the shit out of me anyway, but I would rather avoid that if it came down to it. Bloodbeard winks over.
Well, I know how much they would pay for a completed job. If you're interested, then how about you pay me up front, and I bring you some useful supplies. Then you work for Lost and Found.
Bloodbeard is going to just put a very pathetic coin purse on there and just open it up and just kind of do you see this? You see this? And he just kind of wrinkles around maybe less than 50 coins in there. That's not 50 gold, my friend. There's copper in there too. I told you, I am a broke ass bitch.
Then what about your friend, or other friends, or your crewmate? What about them?
Bored on this job.
Well, I can't tell you that right now before I know if you have enough to pay up front, do I?
Why would I pay up front if I don't know what I'm going to get out of it?
No, what you can pay up front.
Do you take physical goods? Wait, hold up. I'm pretty sure I'm one of the poorest people in this group. We should wait for the others to get here and then do a pool sum so we can evenly divide the loot. So we're not just doing a job for me to get paid, because no one's going to like to do that. I wouldn't like to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to do that.
Well, fine. Then leave. Make sure you get all your friends. Make sure you have enough money so you can work for me.
Oh, they're going to meet us here. This is the meeting spot.
He doesn't like it. Fine. Don't take anything. And he takes his papers and don't go anywhere. And he goes upstairs, back into his room and closes the door.
Was not planning on it.
I really wish I knew where that cup went.
I mean, probably just in
If the
the
other
kitchen.
cup's there, Bloodbeard's gonna be like, "Get me another beer."
He hops down, runs off, and doesn't return.
Ah! Truly, she's a cruel mistress.
All right. So as you guys are in the Lost and Found right now, let us move on to what some of the others are doing. I would say for Clover and Emilio, you would have managed to buy some, some cheap jewelry that you can share with your friends. You probably, like, depending on how cheap you want it to go, you could probably get it for like 10-20
I
silver.
imagine it's like colorful shells and
Yeah.
woven bands and just ugly as sin.
Yeah, probably like 10 or like a gold to 2 gold per. So like, how many do you need? So 1, 2, 3,
We need one
4,
for everybody, so 6.
6. So you get you get 6 of these colorful, gaudy looking shelled bracelets. It's gonna be, oh wait, I can't do math. It's gonna be 9 gold. It's gonna be 9 gold you're gonna have to spend.
Okay, Emilio will pay for it.
Okay.
No, I can pay for it.
No, Emilio's already putting the money down.
All right.
Fine.
But yeah, after you're done, I'm guessing you're headed to Lost and Found at this point.
Yeah, they'll be heading there.
Okay. What is Zubrik and Tingle doing?
Well, Tingle's feeling pretty freaked out about Zubrik inquiring into this
Something.
place.
Yeah.
Yes. So he Zubrik, I'm not saying that we should ever talk about this again, but if it ever does come up, I want to not be able to say I didn't prepare at all. So, to an armorer!
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Tingle will speed walk away from Zubrik. Which isn't much because he has a 25 movement speed.
Your speed walk is my regular walk.
Yeah.
You go to the city, part of the city that's called the Anvil Alley, where a ton of masons, smiths, woodworkers, those like trades that work by hand can be found. Are you trying to fix like the straps and stuff to your armor and stuff? Things.
He's actually gonna try and trade up as much as he can, since his current armor is pretty beat up. But he has some money, and well, what better reason to spend money now when no one else needs it than preserving my own life?
So, how much are you planning on trying to trade and buy things?
He is planning to try and buy a set of splint armor.
Where's it? There we go. All right. There's handbook. Splint armor. Da, 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 da.
Making you drag out the manual.
Splint armor is going to cost you 200 gold for a whole set. Probably there would be a markup. I'll say 10% here. 220 would be the price.
Alrighty. And I'm gonna try and sell my old armor so I can afford that.
What is
And
your old
also
armor?
maybe something else. Like, alchemist supplies maybe or something, because I can barely afford that.
What's your old armor?
Old armor is chainmail.
Chainmail. With some of the damages, and since it's secondhand, they would probably buy it for about. Give me a persuasion check, real quick.
Alrighty, and Tingle will guidance himself, so a little scroll pops out.
Are
and
we
it's-
doing this?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to sell my armor because I can get better armor. Ooh.
Okay, you're gonna distort the value. Okay, never mind. They'll probably buy it for like 60 gold then. Pretty close to the price of like a new one.
Alrighty. And so that would total out at 180. And then Tingle is going to give them try and sell them a magic set of troll oil for 1 gold off the price.
Sure. Can you give me that persuasion check? And
Sure.
then I'll see if you do.
And guidance! How to sell garbage to people that don't actually need it. Persuasion.
We have no use for that here, good sir. Hello? Did I go mute? Oh.
Repeater.
Oh, there we go. Okay, my Among Us mute button was pressed somehow. Okay. No, it's like we have no use for that here.
Oh, okay. In that case, he'll hand over all of his money except 23 silver.
Okay. So you're paying 260 gold ish.
200 because you said it was a
10%
10% markup, so 220.
yeah.
So then minus
So 220 minus here I got this. 220 minus 60
I can't math.
plus
Let me calculate.
55 is 215 with the alchemist supply.
Wait. No, so 220 minus 60, so it would be 160 gold that he owes.
180 or 160 gold, yeah. And then you
Yeah, he can just and then he'll sell the alchemist supplies because he
Oh, you're going to sell the alchemist supplies.
Yeah. Well, actually I'll keep him. It doesn't matter. I have enough money. So
Okay.
I'll just do that. So 160.
Okay, I thought you were buying an alchemist supply. So
No, I already have the set.
Yep.
Zubrick was amazing and looted it for me.
that's
So
true.
gifted.
Well, the best things are looted, so.
All right.
Alrighty, so 160. Do.
And-
See. 1.
I will say, are you guys doing anything else?
Nope.
Just
Okay.
to make this transaction really quick, I'm gonna ask for some silvered arrows and to silver my scimitar, whatever.
Wait, you're gonna ask for silvered arrows?
Silvered arrows, like a couple, and then to silver part of the blade of my scimitar.
Okay. They're gonna need to take your scimitar for a day, or I'll just say a day, and that's gonna be 50 gold to get it silvered, and for the arrows, I believe it's for every 5. Is it? Because normal arrows are 10 for 20 for a gold. So I think it might be 2 arrows for 1 gold. 2 silver arrow per gold.
I'll
Pretty
buy 10 silvered arrows for 10 silvered arrows for 5 gold.
Yep. Okay.
Right? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So now with some silvered items in hand, where all of you, what are all 4 of you doing? Like, I just want to know.
Well, I guess we'll head over to Lost and Found.
While he's still giving his armor up, I am in the alley outside doing what I do best.
Okay. Having fun. Got it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing all of you are headed to Lost and Found at this point, right?
Yep.
All right. You guys would probably meet up before you guys get to Lost and Found around there, and eventually all head in. Again, you would see that a large gate, not a gate, like a wall on the front eastern side of the building when you approach the main doors. Through the gate, you could see a large owlbear lounging in the sand pit, and a slightly dilapidated hall as you enter.
Wait, with the owlbear,
Yeah.
Emilio would like to approach that
It is.
pen.
It is sleeping.
Is it okay? The pen that it's in.
It's not really a
How
pen.
high is
The wall itself and like the gate.
How
So
high is that wall?
probably what's a normal wall size? Like a fence height, like 7-8 feet, probably. I would say 8 to 9 feet wall.
It's so high.
Yeah, it's a high wall. They don't want, people on their property.
How can you see the owlbear then?
They have a metal barred gate, and that's where you can see the owlbears through.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So what are you doing?
He's gonna linger by the gate then. for a
Okay.
bit.
You just kind of hang around by the gate as the rest of you head in. You would see what I described before with some like trinkets and baubles and even statues on the left, with a balconied upper floor and a domed roof to keep the smoke from filling up in this area and in the hall here. So when you guys step in, you would see both Valsira and Bloodbeard. Bloodbeard's probably getting antsy and poking his head into the kitchen. You could see that the mugs at this point, Bloodbeard, have made their way to the countertop with what looks like an old ale barrel that's tapped, but have literally just sat down at the side of the countertop as there's no way for them to reach it. And they're on the floor. And Valsira, you would notice everyone else too approaching. At this point, I just want to say there are the two others have gone out of the premises also. So the Errol, the Kenku, and the half orc that you guys didn't learn the name of, they left. So yeah.
Hey,
Hi, Val.
everybody.
This place seems a little outdated, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of a shithole. I'm a little surprised.
Hey Zubrik, doesn't this look kind of like those ruins when they're like about to collapse?
Oh god.
Yeah.
Tingle's gonna very boldly take a step into the doorway out from the center of the room.
Oh, did you guys meet Lord Landrick?
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
interesting fellow. Might have a job for us, though.
Okay. I stick my head out of the door. Emilio, Landrick does live here.
Emilio was like kind of distracted at the gate. He's like, "Oh, okay. Is he inside?"
Yes, I think so.
What's all this ruckus? It's back, baby.
Is that him?
Yep. Our friends are here.
Finally, you would hear. And then again, more unlocking. He comes out this time with those same papers, but a few more of him. As he comes down, he's like, "So what? Who's the leader here? Who's the one that makes the shots?"
The Wanderer?
And you couldn't speak for your group?
Well, it's news to me that I'm the leader, but
I think
sure.
Bloodbeard's the captain, so are you like the
Not on
captain on the
land.
ground? Okay.
Hold up now. Pirates are not always sea-based. There's a lot of land action involved.
There's also lakes.
By the way, I think I forgot to describe Loston because you guys all know what he looks like in a way. And I forgot that the viewers might not know what he looks like.
Okay, describe him.
Basically, he's like thinning up at the top. Imagine a small rock gnome, thinning hairline, but a sizable beard now that's kept relatively neat and tidy. The only thing is that his hair is beginning. Wait, how old is he? How old was he before? Dylan?
I think he was like 69 or something.
Nice.
All right. well, then
But no longer.
yeah, he would start. There would be a bit of graying, that's starting to appear in his hair, and he seems to be wearing, kind of like a marred and old and worn kind of like protective leather gear. He seems to have like a pair of leather gloves kind of tucked in his belt as well. And he was obviously working with something just a minute ago when he comes down.
Does he look like he's wearing anything that would say he has like high status or wealth or?
He seems to have a few like still jewelry like on his hands, like
Mhm.
in the form of rings. You can see that he has some sort of necklace that he's wearing as well. But otherwise, nothing super gaudy on him. Everything seems within reason, you know.
Does any of it look like something like magic? Like, oh, there's a shimmer on his I don't know, shirt, or one of those gems has a screaming face inside, or anything like
Oh
that?
yeah, some of the rings on his fingers definitely look magical.
Okay.
Well, at least it looks like he might be able to pay us. I don't know about this place, though.
Now, what's this about me paying you?
Yeah,
Well, that's why I'm here, right?
it's he needs us to put money forward, and then we get the money from the job, so we don't run off on him.
And what's this job?
Well, he won't tell us unless he knows we actually have the money for it.
Oh,
I've kind of
Well-
been stalling for time so Emilio can explain whatever he needs Lost in for.
Well,
Yeah,
this
let's-
kind of sounds like that Explorers Guild me and Zubrik were just at. They wanted us to pay them money to go do stuff, and then give them all the stuff, and then they'd give us a little bit of it.
You would see,
Well,
at this point, as you guys are like talking about how things work, you would see it's been a while that you had to wait here, Val and Bloodbeard. Not like super long, but a little bit. But then you would see the Errol and the half orc return from wherever they left. Like, and you would hear the Kenku going, "Job's done. Pretty short," and toss him a little bag of gold, like a small bag of money, towards Loston, who will catch it, stuff it away in one of his leather pockets.
Does he not get to keep some of his earnings?
No, he gets to live here, and I supply him with supplies that he might need for a job.
It kind of just feels like you're a pimp at this point.
Excuse
I
me.
mean, he does live in the slums, so...
he's got the rings for it.
Yes.
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is a legitimate adventuring guild, and I just get a percentage of the reward for what's it called? Organizing all of this.
It seems like you
Wow.
took all the reward.
No, they just pay me a very small portion. As you all will too eventually when you guys start working for me.
I'm not so sure about that. Emilio, is he still outside?
Yeah, he's still outside. He's
All
still
right,
running.
I'm gonna go out and bring you inside and say, okay, so Emilio, why don't you do whatever business you have with this guy, because he's seeming more and more sketchy to me, and I'm not sure that I want to do any additional business with him.
Oh, sketchy. I have no idea what you're talking about. This is a legitimate business venture. So successful at one point, in fact, that adventurers from all across Særald came asking for a job, asking to work for us.
The more you say that you're legitimate, the less legitimate you sound.
Well, Errol said too.
I didn't hear that one.
That's what Errol said too.
I'm impressed that he heard that exact phrase before.
So, is this him?
Yeah.
Who the hell is this? Another friend?
Yes.
Hmm.
Emilio's gonna lean over to Wander and he's gonna be like, You're right, he does look really sketchy.
Told you.
Why would my mom send me to find some sketchy ass pimp?
How do you know that he's a pimp? You were outside.
What kind of
Because
family
he's got
business
so
were
many
you in?
rings.
Oh, true. The surest sign.
It's the assless chaps. No, he will. How tall is Loston, by the way?
He's a rock gnome, so probably like 2 feet, some maybe.
2'7".
Alright, he's leaning
2'7".
down
Yeah.
in the most insulting way you can do it with a short person. He's gonna like,
He's looking up at you with a frown on his face. He's like, "May I help you, Drow?"
yeah, my mom sent me to find you.
Oh, your mommy sent you to find me? For what?
I don't know, they just said that you would help, but honestly, you don't look like you can even help yourself at this point.
Oh, that's supposed to hurt, right? Because it kind of did.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, it's just pointing out the obvious. You kind of smell a little bit.
It's probably some of the stuff I'm working with. Either way, I need to get back to that. Are you all
Okay,
going
but
to...
I need to know about my mom's. He's gonna pull out the letter and he's gonna show it to Lawson.
Okay. Let me look at the letter real quick. I just want to see if I can recall what I wrote. Where's your letter? I don't see it.
It's in the handouts.
Oh, there it is.
It's under his magical items. I don't
Okay.
know why.
No, I see it. Yeah.
When Emilio pulls out the letter, if Tingle can, he's gonna try and take a quick glance at it, if he can like see it at all.
It's probably folded. When he hands
Okay.
it over to Loston, who would open it and look at it. But you can try to stand behind Loston to take a peek. But yeah, sure, go ahead. Give me a
Sidestep, sidestep, sidestep. Oh look, where am I?
give me a stealth roll with just as is, because you don't have any armor on, I guess, right now.
Alrighty. Stealth. Deedly deet deet.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of slowly moving your way. Lawson takes the piece of paper, unravels it, reads it out loud, and actually, I guess he will just read it out loud, yeah, since he just said that. It's only been a month since we left you with your aunt, and we already regret leaving you behind. We wanted to bring you with us, but cards spoke of potential dangers, and we didn't want to involve you with that possibility. We are writing this just in case things don't go planned. I left seeking or if you left seeking answers yourself. In truth, we didn't leave you for merchant-related business, but I'm sure you would have pieced that together already. Due to the nature of this, we cannot write down. He kind of mumbles on, and he reads Lord Lanrick and Athera out loud. And who are your moms? And as he's taking the piece of paper and just kind of shining it towards where the best source of light is, looking through it, he's kind of rubbing the piece of paper itself.
He's gonna take that letter back before he friggin' rips it or something like that.
Excuse you.
Juliet and Celeste. 2 drows.
I have no idea who Juliet and Celeste are.
I mean, it's probably been a while, but
Yeah,
they clearly know you.
Sure, but many people know me. I am Lord Lanrick, after all.
How many drows can you possibly know?
I knew of you. You don't know who I know.
Did you know 2 women drow who were a couple?
Now,
Did you know 2 women drow, period?
now,
Do you know 1 woman drow?
yes.
Okay. So there's 1, maybe.
Yeah, one of them would have been dressed like really well, very high class, and the other one, would have dressed far more fun.
As you guys are talking, you would see Errol come over and bring like a cup of tea over to where the half orc is sitting at this point. And as he sets it down, you would hear in a very kind of feminine voice, like, "Here you go, dearie." As you hear that, Emilio, give me a history check real quick.
It's not very good at history check.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It sounded a bit familiar, but about it.
Birdman? I don't know your name. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Errol.
No, not that. The thing you just said.
Here you go, dearie.
Does it sound more familiar now? I'm paying attention
Yeah,
to
absolutely. Yeah. Like, it sounds... You're sure it's from your past. Like, it sounds similar to something from your past.
it. Okay, well that bird is clearly imitating a voice that I know. So they've had to have been here at one point.
That's no proof. You have no... That means nothing. You could be
I'm gonna
saying
do an
that...
insight check.
You could be saying that, and I have no idea if you would be lying to me. Give me an insight check.
Insight check. I don't trust him. Unfortunately, I rolled really low.
Yeah, he's definitely avoiding the question. Like, he's just like, nope, no idea. Like, when answering, he's not looking in your direction. He's not making eye contact. He's just kind of staring off as he's answering, like he's answered this kind of stuff before.
Hey, if you have any information, I want it. Tell it to me. Why are you hiding?
I am not hiding anything. As a lord, I would not hide information from people that are seeking it. But...
You clearly are.
Oh, you say that. But you have no idea what's in my mind. Can't prove anything. Now, unless you want to do some business with me, or a job as adventurers, and get paid doing so, for me organizing it, of course, I bid you adieu.
Okay, hold on. You said you want to do business, and you say that you can't remember or you don't remember or whatever. I'm going to pull out a gold piece, and I'm going to say, does this jog your memory?
No. You can give me an insight check when he says no.
Ooh, nice.
His eyes are fixated on the gold that you're you're kind of tempting him with. But
pull out another piece.
That,
how about this?
That might help. But no.
I am gonna pull out a third piece and I'll say, okay, how about this amount and I don't punch you in the face?
Are you threatening the lord of this house?
I know
Tingle's gonna pop out a scroll and use guidance, and on it, it's gonna be words to threaten a gnome with.
Perfect. I'm gonna take that. I don't know what these special words will be, but
well, mostly it's stuff like, I'm gonna kick you into a well, or I'm gonna step on you because you're so tiny, kind of thing like that.
Yeah, what he said.
Give me a quick intimidation check. Okay. He looks at you and he's like, you wouldn't have hurt me. There's too many people here. Errol's here. He's watching. Gulutar's watching.
I think I have more friends here than you do.
As you say that, he kind of backs up a little towards where Errol and Gulutar are. And he's like, but I'm sure my friends are stronger than yours.
Oh my god, fuck it. Emilio's gonna wild shape into a bear.
Okay.
He's had enough of this.
You
Yeah. Also, I'm offering you 3 gold. That's not a threat.
but it's not enough.
What would be enough to restore your memory?
100 gold.
That's ridiculous.
I don't know. My memory isn't working without all the money.
Hey,
Okay, again.
I think I could get 100 gold for you. You've got insurance as a lord, right? Bloodbeard's gonna cast Searing Smite on his cutlass and just hold it like kind of near the table.
Okay.
I'm sure you'd get 100, more than 100 gold for this whole place.
When you do that, when you threaten the place, you would hear thump, 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 crack. Door flings open, and behind you, it's the Myconid. Looming over
I'm sure
you.
you get more than 100 gold for the mushroom as Bloodbeard like steps up onto the table.
Okay, I need to.
Guys,
I need to check some.
Guys.
I need to check something real quick.
as this is happening,
So-
Zubrik's gonna stumble in the front door and be like, I don't mean to interrupt what's going on, but I found a furry child in a cage outside and let him out. Is that bad?
Oh god. I'm gonna go out because I'm sure he's talking about the owl bear and animal
Okay.
monsters are sort of my thing.
When
yeah,
you
Amelia's
run,
also gonna head out if
when
the
you-
owl bear has been loose.
when you both run out, so a bear and a tiefling runs out of the tavern at this point.
It's like a joke.
I know. That's why I said it that way. And then as soon as you do, you're expecting to see people like freaking out on the streets, like as an owlbear is looking around doing what to do. The gates open, the owlbear's sitting in there, just happy, kind of on its butt now because all the noise has woken it up. And it's just like looking at you. And it's this massive owlbear. He seems kind of timid. And he goes,
I'm gonna close the gate.
No, the gate's open. Emilio's going in this time.
Okay, I'm gonna close it after you, I guess.
He's also gonna turn back. I wanna
Okay.
be up there.
Okay, but Emilio, get your butt out of. Not you, Emilio. Emilio, what are we gonna do about Lawson, Lord Lanrick, whatever his
I'll
name
pay
is?
him if he needs 100 gold.
He doesn't need 100 gold. That's stupid.
or all of you can pay me for the job and I can give you the information as payment also.
Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay.
No.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Come over here.
No.
Sign this.
No.
Well, I'm not paying, so your money, Emilio. You do that.
Zubrik walks up to Lost and turns around, points at Tingle and goes, looks down at Lost and goes, Tingle, just pay the man.
Well, I
Your-
guess.
Your friend seemed
Tingle
to
will
have
hold
been...
up a single copper and try to use eye wiggling and eyebrow wiggling to tell Zubrik to cast a spell on his single copper.
Zubrik's wondering why this random gnome in front of him wiggling his eyebrows.
Okay, everyone, stop. Whatever you're doing, just stop, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna go up to Zubrik and like grab him by the collar and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
What's wrong with me? How long's Clover been green?
You need to get your problem under control. It was funny at first, and now it's causing problems because you almost let an owl bear into the streets, and you're messing up this deal or whatever we're gonna try to make with this person, this lord,
Right, a lord.
quote unquote. Get it together.
All right, at this point, Amelia, you say you headed into the pen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The owlbear's just kind of looking at you calmly. Big old eyes. Staring. Tilts its
He's
head.
gonna approach very carefully because
Mhm.
it's still a big owlbear. He's gonna like hold out his hand, like kind of how you hold out a hand to animals so they can sniff it,
Mhm.
identify you.
It brings its head closer. It doesn't like stand. It just kind of stretches its head out a little towards where your hand is. It kind of nibbles at your hand.
Aw. He's gonna try to pet it.
Yeah.
Carefully without startling.
Give me an animal handling check. Yeah.
Nice.
It, you reach over, you give it a pet, you ruffle your fingers through its feathers in a way. Seems content and happy as it just kind of sits there and lets out this kind of trill of a noise.
Amelia's gonna start crying
Okay.
very quietly. So Valsira can't hear him.
All right. So while that's going on outside, everyone on the inside, Val, you pulled Zubrik aside. Clover, you're like, you're worried
I'm
things
just-
are gonna pop off.
Yeah, I'm just constantly saying, guys, can't, and no one, I can't get a word in whatsoever.
Bloodbeard's spell only lasts for a minute, so his sword has probably gone out at this point, and he's just holding like a little smoking cutlass and like a hand up on the table, just like, ugh. Like his hands out, like, ah.
The Myconid is definitely like right behind you, Bloodbeard, just looming, just waiting for you to do something real stupid. As for the other two, the druid, Kulutar, as you guys have heard his name at this point, he seems to have conjured up a staff, but he's just kind of waiting. Arrow goes,
So,
Okay.
like, we're making this deal, right? Can I put this sword away?
yes, you pay
Please
me.
get off the table.
We don't know what the deal is still. Okay, look.
Honestly, at this point, I don't want to get this shit kicked out of me by a giant walking shiitake mushroom. All for some guy who's just walked out and is doing God knows what with an owlbear. We're taking the goddamn deal.
But we don't know what the deal is.
The deal is you sign this contract, you pay me for the information and for the job, so Lost and Found could fix the problem outside of the city, start gaining our foothold back as the adventuring guild for anyone and everyone in all across Athera.
Weird slip. Okay, so what information are you referring to?
Nothing. The one I can't remember.
So purely that information, and then the job, and if we do the job, we get the money from that job, right? And we're done with you.
Yes.
So we're paying you now to get some information about something you can't remember, and to get some information about a job, and then we never have to talk to you again. Is that right?
I want to say never. If you're successful in the job, I want you to spread the word that you are from Lost and Found and point people our way.
We are not from Lost and Found, clearly.
Well, you will be.
Why would we wanna be? This place seems like a wreck.
Not a wreck.
Listen, if his name has any sort of carry outside the city at all, it might help out.
Yes, and also you will get free lodging and stay, no food or drinks. Free lodging and stay across any other Lost and Found franchises across all of Særald.
Where are these other franchises?
All around the place. You'll find them everywhere.
Name one specifically.
Yes.
Can you repeat that?
Sorry.
Gazoon tight.
So good.
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm laughing at my own damn joke. S.
You just keep coughing. I'm not getting an answer.
It's a
here.
legitimate place. It's far to the north. You'll find it.
Okay, that's a lie.
Uh-huh. And how would you know?
Because you're a liar.
I am no liar. I'm a lord. Lords don't lie.
I feel like they do.
Well, at minimum, we have first-hand proof he's terrible at business, because this place is not doing great.
That's true. Okay. So I'm gonna go and find Emilio. Everyone else just chill for like a sec, okay?
I can do
I'm
that.
gonna go find Emilio.
I'm gonna do this part as you step out of the place to talk to Emilio. You would see that the rest of you would see that the half orc notices that things are kind of calming down. He tucks his staff away and he goes, "You know, this place wasn't always so run down. It was nice and thriving before.
What was the second thing? Sorry.
It was nice and thriving before."
Okay,
Kind-
well,
Kind of
That's
got the
great.
vibe from that.
Lawston's like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. It's still a wonderful place to work for and in."
as evidenced by your ones of employees.
Successful, alive adventurers, I would say.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. I'm gonna go talk to Emilio.
Okay. When you go find Emilio, yeah, you go over to where Emilio is in the sand pit, the training pit.
Emilio,
Hmm.
how important is this information to you?
He's like not turning around, but he sounds weepy.
Yeah, like
Uh,
shoulders kind of shaking.
It's very important. It's kind of the only hint I know right now. Only
S-
lead.
So you're searching for your moms? They disappeared? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it later, okay?
Amelia, why are you crying?
I don't know.
Did the
Like,
owl bear
owlbear's
say
just
something
really
to you?
fluffy.
He's
Huh?
just fluffy.
It's just fluffy. I don't know.
Okay, well, if we're gonna get this information, he's charging us 100 gold. Now, of course, with that, we also get information about a job. So it's not just for the information, but it's still a pretty hefty price. Do you think it's worth paying?
I can only pay like 50 of that.
Well, it would be a group effort, so do you think that price is worth it?
Would you put a price on information for your family?
Guess not. Okay. Well, I would suggest that you walk away from the owl bear because we can't have you crying when we're trying to make a business deal here.
Okay, give me a minute. He's gonna toss over
Okay.
his money bag
Mhm.
to Valsira. It's got 56 gold in it and seven platinum. You can do whatever.
You're very trusting.
Okay. Val
I
is-
got a thought here, guys, because I went way past the time I thought I was going to dip out.
Oh, no worries.
For Bloodbeard, though, Bloodbeard is going to try to make everyone do it as even as possible for the 100. If anyone's a deficit, other people can carry them, but he wants to make sure that we're able to evenly divide the spoils from this job. That's all he cares about. If he has to get a little ledger to keep a track of it, he's going to do that.
But 100 doesn't divide by 6.
Well, some of us are
That's
going
when
to...
one person pays for all of it.
Goddamn base 10.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. If Emilio has to pay more, that's his prerogative. But I'm going to go to sleep. I will see you guys later.
All right.
Alright.
Adios.
And
Bye.
with that, let's take a quick break. So thanks
Yeah.
Ian for stopping by. Break time.
Olé. I shall be back.
All right.
Love that the NPCs you chose to keep around were the annoying bird that stole my look and the big sexy orc.
Yeah, the big sexy half orc, he's still around. The Errol's around, and it's, I don't know if you kind of could tell, but it's because they consider it their home in a way. everyone else kind of had other things to do or left pretty soon after, depending on
I'm not
timeline.
complaining. I'm just saying.
But yeah. Either way. Any thoughts on how Lost and Found is currently?
I'm disappointed you didn't include the assless trap.
He has him
Agreed.
on underneath.
Okay.
He can't
Security
just,
measure.
yeah,
Boston
exactly.
has changed so much.
You'd be so forthwilling to show those off.
I
had
picture old Loston as like, or the Loston that learned to hide the chaps is one of those anime villains where he tells all his secrets during the battle and then fucking dies because he did it. Haha, you've gotten close enough for my assless chaps to trigger.
You fool! You told us about that a month ago.
Oh god.
Yeah, I
I
turned
like
him.
that he's got a beard.
I kind of turned him into an older man.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he just shaved his head and then like glued it onto his beard.
Kinda. That's what it kind of looks like at this point.
That's
probably.
how you get a full look for
Yeah.
the beard.
Oh god. So I have 7 gold.
Oh God,
That's because you
everyone.
spent it all on drugs. You're on your own.
I actually spent more of it on
The tux.
the arrows
Oh, the arrows.
and
Yeah.
the sword. So
Yeah.
hey, there's a plot reason for it. You'll
For
see
the
when we
arrows or the
level up.
suit?
The suit.
Okay, good. Because I'm super excited for soup for your bike.
You'll figure it out when we level up.
Can't wait to see little bug suit.
By the way, it's funny because like Zaldin was mentioned.
I'm sure he's still here. We just can't see him.
Yeah, he's super stealthy. Remember that? He just stands in the corner and nobody notices that he's alive.
He's one of the foundation poles. There's only actually 3.
He's actually, the thing is, he's a halfling, and I have an amount of time that's passed that you guys don't know, but you guys probably are starting to put together some context clues.
I don't
Because
know how long gnomes live for, so I really don't know.
Couple
Well,
hundred.
let me just say this: Errol was like not even an adult when you guys first met him in the previous
Yeah.
campaign.
Portal
is-
was like a toddler.
He's like mid-40s now,
Dang, so we're looking at like 30-ish years.
maybe.
Oh man.
Been quite a while. Yeah.
Damn, Tristan, never seen you come back to your room so fast after getting snacks. That like you just blow through the air with.
I was gonna
You
say
know,
it's
the
he's aerodynamic. Yeah, it's aerodynamic. Tristan, I have a question. Do you move faster around your house because you don't have hair anymore? Is it like how Sonic? Oh, it's not on stream. Damn it! It's not on stream.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it was so good. I wish that was on stream. Damn it.
Okay, I'll be right back too.
All right. I will
I do.
take my break now.
It's a whole 1% faster.
I worry that Peter has killed off Boone. Boone the owlbear.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised after all that he's done.
Oh, we're probably gonna be like exploring Lost and Found sometime later and be like, oh, that's a nice owlbear rug you have there.
Don't even. I was so happy to hear that owlbear was there. It was like 10 minutes before I was talking to my friend about the owlbear couplets that Rowan left behind, and
Oh
then
man.
they popped up, and I was like, I started like mass texting. I was like, it's the owlbears.
I want there to be a cliche moment where like we go turn around and leave and the sign just says lost and it's kind of hanging. But like 30 sessions from now when we help Lawson out, we come in and this is lost and found and he's just nailing it up.
Oh, the cliche. It would be so good though.
I gotta remember I bought those arrows now.
Stop being high.
I can't
Actually, don't
help
worry.
it.
The second Emilio gets closer to you and you look like that,
I fucking walked up to Loston, turned around, looked at fucking Tingle, and was asking Loston why Loston's being a jackass.
Yeah, but only everybody else noticed that. Mila's a little distracted right now. He's crying and he doesn't know why.
You guys all walked in, and I was standing outside for the first 10 minutes.
I know.
Staring
I
at the
actually
child
thought you were
in the cage.
inside. I didn't know you were still inside. Again, the second he saw that owlbear, he got distracted. Don't worry. Don't worry, Zuber. We will take it.
All right. Is everyone back?
Yes.
I got
My-
salad and popcorn.
My popcorn is in the microwave.
Right.
Salad on a Friday night?
Mm-hmm.
Really living it up.
Yeah.
It's more like an Asian slaw than anything.
Even more exciting.
It's pretty good.
Okay. So, you guys are in the Lost and Found currently, and have decided maybe you should just pay this asshole Lost in of the Lost and Found to get the information for Emilio. Either way, as you all kind of gather around the table, and he brings out the sheets of paper, he's like, all right, so you're going to do this job for me, right?
Well, it's not really for you because we just get to keep the reward when we're done with it, right?
Yes, the amount you're paying right now is the cut that you would probably have gotten. The cut that I would have gotten from the full reward from the quest. I don't trust you'll return to pay me back, so I'm asking for the money up front.
That's fair. We would not. So, how much would we get for doing this job, though? Like, what's the reward of the job, and what is the job?
Okay. You know, move on. Come on, move on. Move on. I don't want to. Okay. All right. Okay. There we go. Let's see. Need to have this open and Juno, please. Oh my god.
Put her on the floor.
Yeah, I will. I have to put all my dice away right now. Okay. He would be like, you would be paying me 100 gold right now, and you will be paid 500 for completing this job at Olgaris.
But, like, what if we don't actually make that much money from it?
Oh, and I'm sure they are up for at least the amount that they have agreed upon. This is through direct channels for guilds such as Lost and Found gets with the connection to Thera, and if they don't pay, then I should be the one to cover the loss in payment. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened once, other than that one time where they weren't the friendliest of people.
Okay, so you'll pay us $500 if they don't.
If they don't,
Is
The
that
scroll-
in the contract?
that is gonna be in the contract.
A scroll's gonna pop out, and it's just labeled "Laws Between Adventuring Guilds." And Tingle's gonna try and take an insight into that because Loston's kind of a shifty guy.
Give me a history check, I guess.
Okay, history. Ooh,
Yes.
way better. Not very good though.
Like, you're not sure if that's exactly how other guilds do it, but I mean, it seems like a good
It
enough
doesn't
safe.
sound crazy.
No, yeah, it seems like a good enough fail safe in a way for the
Mhm.
guild itself. You're not sure if it's like the most legal way to do things, but hey, if the law's written that way, it's written that way.
Well, people do what they do.
Okay. So what is the job?
First, I need you to sign here if you're willing to sign up for it.
How do I know if I'm willing to sign up for it if I don't know what it is?
All it is finding out what has taken away some livestock, and getting rid of whatever that is.
Okay, so some kind of monster.
Maybe. I have no clue. Apparently, livestock has been going missing, and they are sure that it's probably not the wildlife.
The livestock is missing or being killed? Like, are they
Going
finding
missing.
just disappearing?
I mean, that sounds a lot less terrible than I was expecting.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like such a big deal.
I mean, to be fair though, we did recently see giants stealing livestock, so it could be something like that.
True. Okay, so something stealing livestock and we have to find out what it is and kill it? Is that part of it?
I think as long as you find a way to stop it, I don't know. I think it is something like that.
Okay, so stop it in some way. Got it. Okay, well, that doesn't sound too crazy. And what is the location?
Olgaris, northeast of Athera. You would have to cross the bridge, get to the other side, and walk through some swamplands to get to it.
And what's the, like, guild or place we're supposed to go for this reward afterwards?
Oh, it's paid by the town that's connected. Because they're connected to Athera, it's a guarantee. They'll pay you.
What town is paying us?
Olgaris.
Ulgaris?
Olgaris. Ogeris.
I wrote it with an L.
You can
Ogeris.
read it however you want. It doesn't matter.
It's easier to do it your way.
It's
And,
literally just a O and then Garrus.
Got it.
We're gonna need, like, some kind of a written thing saying they owe us 500 gold, and if they don't cover it, you will,
This
cause,
is-
other...
What do you think these papers are for? One of them will be for you to take to show that you have taken the job. Now, are you going to sign here or what?
I would like to read it.
Okay.
And I will help you!
Perfect.
With guidance as well!
Okay. It's written in a bit of a legalese, but I could give me a quick, just a straight, I guess, investigation. That's not intelligence. I guess just investigation.
Oops.
7. Okay. As you are, I believe you, Tingle is helping, or is
Yeah.
the guidance to help?
The Tingle was going to help and also do guidance if he can.
Sure. Give me one more investigation roll.
Tingle's mostly looking around, like just trying to see if he can see a 500 gold word anywhere to be like, oh, that's the payment section.
Okay.
Do you want that from Tingle or from
Valsira needs to make another one.
okay.
It would be at an
Cool.
advantage.
That's what I thought, but
Okay.
ooh, much better.
21.
Ooh.
As you're looking through the document, Tingle spots a few things. You would notice that yes, the job, once it's done, should be total complete payment would be 500 gold pieces to whatever individual or group that takes care of this issue, and would be paid by the sheriff that is in charge of Olgaris. As for what's called any other weird things, yeah, there is a clause noting that you, as workers of Lost and Found, you are allowed to use the premises, any Lost and Found property and premises, to sleep in and as lodge, but no food or drink will be provided, as they are provided by yourselves.
Does it explain what other lost and found properties there are?
Absolutely not.
Okay, great.
But yes, that's like the biggest thing I think that you guys would notice in this weird contract. Technically, while under this contract, so until the job is done, you are supposed to say that you work for Lost and Found, and any future jobs that the town might require or the person might require, you're supposed to refer them to Lost and Found
Okay, fine, sure.
during the existence of this contract, which is
That's
until the job is done.
that was way less like weird loopholes and ways to abuse us than I expected.
Yeah, it's pretty downright, normal contract.
Yeah, it seems fine. All right, I'll sign it.
Okay. And you sign it. What about the rest of you all? You guys also?
Amelia will come in now
Okay.
for all of that. He's not crying anymore, but he definitely looks like he was. He's gonna go up to Valsira. He's gonna be like, grab my money. Tack back.
Yeah, we all are putting in. There's 6 of us, right? Did I count right?
Yep.
No, it's
Yep.
okay.
Okay.
I'll pay for all of it. It's fine. Just
No, you don't have enough money. So
I do
Uh,
have enough money though.
it's 100 gold. You had 56.
And 7 platinum.
Yeah, 56.
Oh, and
gold.
7 platinum. That's true. No, we'll split it up because we're all taking this job together. So we should all be invested. But if it makes you feel better, it doesn't split evenly, so you can pay the slight extra. How's that?
I mean, I guess you guys don't have to, do this for my sake. I can pay for it. It's fine.
Well, we're taking this job, so we'll all get paid equally, so we should all take the equal risk.
And I'm working on my empathy, so maybe this will get me a little more invested in that.
See? Let him work on his empathy, Emilio.
Okay, alright. I'll let him work on his empathy.
Why
Okay,
bother?
perfect. Okay, so if I'm doing math right on this cool calculator that I have, 100 divided by 6 is 16.6. So if Emilio pays 17, does that cover it? I'm not very good at math.
No.
Sorry.
No, Emilio would have to pay 20 then, I think.
Perfect. And the rest of us pay 16.
Zubrick hands you 7 gold.
I'll pay for the rest of Zubrix too.
Zubrick, did you spend all your money on drugs?
He gives you like a blank expression, and then like his eyes widen, and he pulls out 10 silvered arrows, and he goes, "I think you dropped these." And he hands you 10 silvered arrows.
Okay, I'm gonna take them.
I found them in my
Yeah,
backpack
Zubrick.
wrapped up.
You found them where? What?
They were wrapped up in my backpack. I don't know how they got there.
Okay, I'll take them. Alright, so
Tingle will hand over a platinum and 6 gold pieces.
Okay.
why are you... Is that... Oh yeah, that adds
Yeah.
up. Never mind. Okay, good. Perfect.
I will take note on what Tingle did and do the exact same.
So everyone's
How do you have a platinum?
Me?
We all got
I don't know. I just have coins.
Yeah, if you can pull those like out of your hair or ear or something, Clover, you should keep doing that.
Okay, and I pull another platinum
Alright.
and put it on the table.
Where are you getting those?
No.
It doesn't matter. They're legal tender. So here we go. So yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
Okay, so just making it easy, everyone pays 16.
Yes, everyone
Other than-
paid.
Other than Zubrick, who pays 7. So that means Amelia would have to pay 29.
Yeah.
Done. You pay Lost in. He counts each one thoroughly. He goes, "All right. Wonderful. Now you can leave to do your job."
Well, actually, we live here now, so yeah.
Didn't we pay for the information?
Yeah.
Hmm. Fine. Sure. What do you want to know?
Well, my mom sent me here, so they
Uh,
must have done it for a reason.
A letter sent you here. I don't know about.
A letter from them.
Sure. Could have been anyone, but sure.
No, they were the only ones that ever called me that.
Yeah. He rolls his eyes and he goes, all right, well, yes, I've met 2 drows in the past. By the way, how long have your moms kind of been missing? Like when they leave?
25-ish years.
25-ish years? Okay, that would kind of line up. He goes, where do I begin? All of you heard of the explorative era, right? When the storms faded back. And by the way, this is like, I guess like maybe 20, 30 years ago at this point.
Mhm.
I'm not sure the exact date, but there were mass news all across Særald that the storms kind of receded further than they ever have been. Following this, diviners and such believed that there were islands up afar, and drew up these maps through visions and dreams and stuff like that. This prompted a bunch of people with money to, this is just history that you would basically know little bits and pieces about. And paid money to those that were willing to explore, bring back whatever they can, and claims, to claim the land as their own or whatnot out afar in the world. Fortunately, back in the day, people did not know the harshness of the currents when the further you get. And many of the ships that went out were ill prepared. Luckily, some went south or the opposite direction of the currents, only to be pushed back to wherever they began. But others were taken away, set adrift, never to return. And
So, sort of like a gold rush, homesteading rush with lots of fatalities and mystery and money and everything.
because and maybe not fatalities, but basically people who left for the sea, a lot of them never came back. There was no word for it, as it seems like further communication magically is also disrupted through the seas still. So when that's the information you would know, Loston goes on to tell, I hired a few people, a sizable crew, got them a nice ship. They lost it out there. That includes your mothers, I guess.
You're telling me
They lost my ship.
that my moms are lost at sea?
Yeah, I guess. Or they became pirates or whatever. They stole from me. That's what it comes down to. And those others are bastards.
But why? They didn't need money.
Something about them. Everyone on that expedition was excited, they said, to become written in the history books for finding these lost places. Ooh, what a wonder it would have been for them. But no, it was all a lie. They took my shit and I never got it back.
You mean they're all lost to sea and your ship is just with them?
I guess. I saw
What
them sail
the-
off.
You're
What
an
places were they checking out?
They went northwest from the very what's called from the very port in this town. Sellers Row. You go there, you go down to the Cyan ports down below. Got them a ship. They boarded. I got them all the supplies they needed. Years worth of it. All down the drain.
So you don't think that they perhaps just died rather than stealing your ship, as you put it?
It doesn't matter if they died or not. Because my ship's gone. My money. It's all gone. Everything.
You considered that your attitude may have contributed to your high attrition rates of employees?
I was a nice individual back in the day. I've become a little jaded maybe in the years, but that's because one bad thing happened after another. Either
Yeah,
way,
you attract bad karma. You're just a disgusting little man. That's all.
Whoa.
you say that, yeah, you work for me right now. So what does that make you?
You know, I'm not doing your job.
Well, then I will have
You
to
can
call
rot in hell, man.
well, then I will have to formally call the guards and have you all arrested and thrown into the dungeons. for
Okay,
breaking a
I'm
contract.
still doing the job. And Emilio, unless you're gonna like go off on your own, I think the rest of us are still doing the job.
I will be around, but I will not help on this job unless
Oh.
you guys are in danger and I need to see.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I paid 16 gold, and that's like actually a fair amount of money. So
Yeah, he paid that for his empathy, so
yep, because I care
deal.
so much about your problems.
clearly.
I care 16 gold about your problems.
Well, now that we're done digging up my past, I'm gonna go back to my works. Good luck out there. Spread the word of lost and found. Do your jobs. And then he walks away.
Amelia's gonna stick his tongue out at him.
Tingle's gonna sidle up next to Emilio, outside of the building just a bit, and ask,
So, Emilio, theoretically, what would you feel if that place burned down tonight, sometime later on?
No, I don't like that.
Just theoretically. You know,
The
would
other
it bring
two
a little
don't
bit of
deserve
lightness
that.
to your heart?
No, it's okay. I just think, don't worry, you know, it'll take care of itself. That man is just awful, and he will keep attracting such bad energy as soon as he, you know, just being an awful, disgusting little man.
He is awful. But he leaves us alone. Once you start earning some money, he leaves you alone.
Who's that? The sexy guy?
Yeah. The Jason Momoa dude, the drow. Not drow, druid.
Amelia
Hey.
was very pointedly not looking at this big, sexy half-orc.
I am pointedly looking at the big sexy half-orc. So what's your deal? You wanna come with us and join the adventure?
I'm retired. I'd rather just live my days comfortably here. Errol's still here and alive and doing well. Everyone, actually, if you stick around here long enough, I'm sure you'll run into some of the others. They stop by sometimes. Nessus, Willow, you know. I don't know about Rilim, though. He hasn't returned in quite a bit.
Yeah, these aren't people that I know, so
Friends of mine.
I gotta ask, what kind of living conditions do you want if this is comfortable?
Oh, out here it's kind of a mess, but that's because Lawson refuses to hire any cleaner and refuses to build something that'll clean for him. I don't understand. He's made a lot of weird things.
Bill? What do you mean? Is he an enchanter?
No, he's good with the metals. You know.
Oh.
Tingle's going to start looking around the room and see if he sees anything that looks like it's been tinkered with, in a sense.
When you give me a perception check, because like anything mechanical probably won't be on
Alrighty.
the walls, the hall itself.
Perception. Oh, if this fun. Let's see if this applies. Nope, that's a history check. Never mind. Perception. Terribly.
Not in the immediate area. And he's like, he continues, and he's like, well, I know he's rubs people the wrong way, but again, this place wasn't so bad in the past.
But that doesn't change how it is now.
Oh, my room and Errol's room are fine, well kept, neat and nice. Out here, however, it is a bit of a sty, I guess.
Well, I guess I can't expect much more from free lodgings, so...
To tell you the truth, we weren't expecting guests. Some of the other rooms were just kind of left in whatever state that they were in, so it's probably extremely dusty in any of the other rooms. If you're gonna stay here, have fun with that.
I feel like we can continue to stay where we have been.
Oh, I can't afford that.
Shit.
Well, if you all are very interested, we have some smaller rooms over by that hallway, and he points down the hallway on the first floor, and he says there should also be plenty of rooms upstairs for any of you to use. I would strongly ask you don't go into my or Errol's room, as it's been ours, and it is ours. So.
And which room would you say is the one most filled with junk and clutter?
Probably Lost Inns, but you might want to check out that one. And he points to the upper floor in the back right corner. There's a small room, it seems like.
Alrighty.
Tingle's gonna just walk off.
Yeah.
So why you got an owlbear outside?
Believe it. The owlbear. And which one was the bigger one? I keep mixing them. Boone. I believe Boone was Rowan's pet that they brought. Unfortunately, Rowan did not return, nor his companions returned, if I remember correctly. And I remember being sent to look for them, and we weren't quite successful in finding what happened to them either. But ever since then, Boone stuck around. We took him out, went on adventures. He's getting up there in his years, though.
Pete, is the one outside named Boone?
Yes.
It's not Remy, right?
No.
Oh. Alright, so its name is Boone?
Yeah. Yes.
That was a weird name for an owlbear.
Yeah, I never get a chance to ask them about why they named, it Boone.
I like him. He's really nice out there. They let me pet him.
He's very well behaved. Either way, they take it easy. Make a room for yourself here. If you're gonna use this place. Like a home like we do. Otherwise, welcome to the Lost and Found. And if you need anything or have any questions about the city, I have plenty of answers.
What's your name again?
Gulutar.
How do you spell that?
Gulutar.
Okay. Well, thank you for the information, I guess. Still kind of a weird vibe here, but I'm glad you're not all as abrasive as the Lord.
He's just had a few rough years, I guess, under his belt.
Sure.
So yeah, and you see Gulutar kind of take his leave. He brings Errol with him and walks out into the town. What are the rest of you doing now?
Well, Tangle's technically not looting his room for anything he finds interesting because he's actually cleaning it.
Okay. It seems like it's a corner room. You mistake the door to the right as the room itself, and it seems like it's a spiral staircase that leads to a little tower of sorts. But otherwise, when you enter the room, yeah, it's dusty, it's messy. Like whoever stayed here last didn't really clean up after they left, and it's just been left like that. There's actually been the windows. There's like a crack to the window already open, and probably from the rain that's kind of fallen here on and off, it kind of ruined that windowsill and the bit of the floor into the corner. But otherwise, the bed still seems to be intact. There even seems to be a nice wooden table for like working on, like an old wooden table that was used to work on like some projects, small tinkering projects. As you see, like nicks and markings and little scuff marks that seem more akin to a tool table than an actual work desk. Like a ready.
This would be way handy rather than keeping my armor on the floor.
I'm not a huge fan of this, I guess, atmosphere. I'm just gonna find lodging at somewhere else.
I mean, we can just go back to where we were.
That's exactly what I was planning to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay here either, but you guys can.
Are we gonna split up? Should we all stay at the same place?
Do you want to stay here, Emilio?
I don't know. It's disgusting. But I really like the owlbear outside.
Peter, can you remind me how much it costs per room at the place we were staying per night?
I believe it was a gold per room,
Okay.
if I remember properly.
All right. Zubrik and Tingle, if you guys come back to the inn, I'll pay for your room.
If you want to, but like it's free here.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's not that bad. I can clean it up like they split.
And Tingle casts prestidigitation, which for him is etheric prototyping partner, and a little mechanical spider with a mop and a dustpan climbs onto the floor.
It starts cleaning
this guy
the
can
area.
just clean up areas, yeah?
Emilio's gonna coo at the spider, but then he's gonna turn to Tingle. He's gonna be like, "You're gonna catch something if you stay here. You know that, right?"
It is
Well,
cleaning the floor in his room. Like, I'm guessing you guys are all talking around this room at this point, and it is
Yeah.
cleaning up the area slowly.
And then it explodes into little gears that vanish into flames and are gone. And Tingle has to recast the spell next to Squarefoot.
Yeah.
That hurt Emilio a little to watch that thing explode.
Yeah, they do that a lot. It's pretty unstable.
It's so cute, though.
Well, you know, it's all just prototypes. Someday I'm hoping to make one that can stick around there.
That would be very good. Yeah, I
But if
agree.
you guys are worried about getting sick or something, I mean, I can clean out your rooms.
I don't think you can clean them that well.
And at the inn, they have food and
Yeah.
alcohol that tastes good.
Well, I can make anything taste like anything.
I don't want to drink bacon beer.
You're missing out.
It's terrible.
I'd rather not owe another person money. I'll stay here.
What do you mean another person? Who do you owe?
What? Somebody. Somebody.
Emilio's gonna walk up to Zubrick and he's gonna put a hand on him, on his shoulder, and he's gonna cast protection from poison.
It is you neutralize the poison. Yeah, it's gone. Like the probably hours worth of the substance that you have in your body completely gone.
You okay there, Zubrick?
Yeah,
Your eyes are kind of bugged out right now.
don't worry about it.
Do you want to
Yeah,
come
you
back?
finally look like you're all there. Hmm?
You want to come back to the inn?
Yeah. I'll go to the inn with you.
Perfect. Let's go.
As the moment you get the majority, it was just like, yep, let's go.
I cannot stand this place.
Okay.
I'm with you.
As you guys leave, the lost and found behind, you guys go back to the tavern, which I believe was called something. Shit, I haven't.
Emilio's gonna wave at Boone
Oh.
before he leaves.
The Lookout.
Oh, look.
Yeah. You guys return to the Lookout. There are much more of a guard presence in this area, but it seems like they're just kind of hanging out. And it seems like it's during a shift of guard switching, so there's quite a lot of them that's just gotten off of their shift, enjoying a drink, talking amongst themselves. There are also plenty of other regular civilians around as well. As you guys step in, you guys would get your own, get the rooms again, get the 3 rooms. So basically 6 gold needs to be paid. And yeah, otherwise you guys are free to do what you want to do.
Since I was rudely awakened, when are we planning on leaving?
I'm ready to leave whenever.
I guess tomorrow morning.
I think
that?
I'll need an extra day.
Why?
I have some things being made right now.
Oh, okay. Well, then 2 days from now.
Oh, did I give you these arrows? Where did I?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Thank
You
You
you very
did great,
much.
buddy.
Thank you.
How many arrows was it again?
10.
10. Okay, great.
I think one more day, yeah.
Emilio and I got all of us, some bracelets. I just start handing them out.
They look like, little shitty shell bracelets, but they're colorful.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, I knew you'd like it.
Tingle's developed newfound faith in his friend, sort of, and he's going to not inspect the bracelet to see if it's a cursed item.
Okay.
Cursed
Aw.
idea how tacky it is.
Zuber kind of holds it up and looks at it. Is this like a drow thing?
It's like a friendship thing.
He's gonna put it on. I need my book back. I have to write something new in it.
Okay, can I have it back after? I'm kind of...
Yeah, sure.
Alright, Emilio will get the book back.
Okay.
Before I forget, I need to purchase some more regular arrows for myself. I don't feel like I need to roleplay that. Can
No,
you
we
just-
can do that on our off time. Like, as soon as the session's over, take some money and deal with that. Unless you wanted to do it right
Okay.
now.
Do you need arrows or bolts?
It's bolts.
Bolts.
Okay,
Is
I
what
was
meant.
gonna say you can have all my arrows, but I guess it doesn't work.
Bolts is what I meant. Yes, sorry. Wait, I'm actually good on that. Never mind. I was looking at the wrong section.
The day's still fairly new. Is anything else anyone wants to do today?
I am poor once again, so nothing fun.
Well, I think I would like to talk to Zubrick sometime, so that's free.
Sounds great.
And he said
Talk
nothing
away.
fun, so there we go.
Heyo!
I guess you're right.
I'm gonna high five Clover.
Was that a good joke?
Yes, it was a great job.
How could you?
Valsir, if you're interested, I can still need to show you how to work that gift I believe I gave you the other day.
How to work it?
There's a certain way to do it, or else you spoil the whole thing.
Sure, let's talk about that later.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna go and kind of try not to die in my room because I am still very sore.
That's fair. Bebo wants to meet me at the beach in an hour. I'll be there.
Beach episode.
Beach time. Beach time's free.
Beach.
Sure.
I guess I'm exposing my recently healed wounds to sun and salt water.
Yay!
Yay! Beach episode.
Okay. Interesting. Bloodbeard says no, thank you, and he just kind of fucking leaves to do his own thing. So I don't.
He doesn't want to go to the beach.
Yes.
He's an ocean boy.
Memories. All right.
Yeah, he's not a beach boy, he's an ocean guy.
True.
But either way, you're not. By the way, you're not sure if there's a beach in the town, in the city.
I don't
However-
care. I'm buying a picnic table, some aloe vera.
No, yeah, that's
And
fine.
It's
You-
gonna
Good.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
one of those like little tiny sandy patches that are right next to a sewer drain off the edge of a highway.
Oh, you'll see. You'll see. I have a few places in mind, I think. But yeah, you go out, you spend a bit of money gathering some, food to eat and stuff like that. And you start walking
I don't
away.
know how money works, so I'll spend 1 platinum.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. That's way too much, food. But either way, you guys eventually would head towards the nearest body of water, which is where the east and west sea meets. And it's where the direct center of Ethera, where the bridge is. As you get closer to the bridge, trying to find your way down, you could see to the west and east side along the cliffs that there are plenty of like these cranes and levers and people hoisting supplies up and down this area. And as you're approaching, thinking of where the best place to go find a place to have a beach episode would be, you hear these massive bells kind of toll pretty close to you. You realize it's coming from the bridge. As soon as this happens, the guards on the bridge and the guards around you start running.
Not again.
Again.
Just like ding, ding. It's just like ringing. And what are you all doing the moment this happens? All the guards are running towards the cliff area and the bridge itself.
Emilio's setting up for beach day.
You're not
I'm
concerned
helping.
about this?
Nah, they've got a handle.
You guys are up on the cliffs near the bridge. So what are you doing right now? You
Well,
you have to find the beach area.
Last
first.
time this happened, the prince put forward a thing that people have been dreaming about doing for at least hundreds, if not thousands of years. So I'm kind of feeling incentivized to go over there.
You can go. Amelia and I could just set up this picnic at the cliff's edge.
So you guys go find the nice like secluded area along the cliff's edge. Okay.
I'll stick
Emilio?
with Clover and Emilio.
Amelia, when I said that you were boring, I didn't mean it. It was just a joke.
What mean though? For my
Okay,
feelings.
I'm sorry.
We had such a nice day together. We picked up friendship bracelets, and then you call me boring after.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to make Zubrik seem happy as well.
Nothing can make that man seem happy.
There was one thing, but you took it away.
I'll take it away again.
As you guys realize, if you go too far to the west or the east, the like levers and the sailors dealing with supplies and stuff like that, bringing it up and down the cliffs, are kind of a bit of a hassle. So probably the best spot is nearby the bridge itself, but like just along the cliffside to the left and right of it. There's actually even like a nice little patch of grass and fence to make sure people don't kind of go too close to the edge, set up. As you guys kind of put your blanket down and take out your picnic basket, this is like moments basically after the bells are ringing. You would hear the first cannon shot. A massive explosion from the bridge, followed by multiple others from the cliffside. And as you guys are along the cliffside, you would see that a ship has tried to make its way through the bridge passageway. And the bells went off. As a volley of cannons bombard the ship, you would see the sailors quickly jumping out into the sea. Otherwise, the ship itself being demolished.
I would like to sketch this.
Go ahead, yeah.
Are there any like sandbanks or anything at the bottom of the cliff areas where that people could get to, like from up above?
Yeah, when you look, you notice that the small bits of sand, or like these alcoves in a way, along the cliffside have been used as supports for the piers, for ships to dock at along this basing here. There might be a bit here and there, but like towards the edges where it might be a lot more rocky.
Oh, hey guys, if we go down there and have our picnic, we might get to have some salvage party too.
But we just set up the picnic day blanket.
Yeah, I like it here.
That's
might
true,
be
we
too
can
many
eat here
guards.
first. Yeah, we eat here first, and then after a light lunch, we can go and get some free treats.
You also would notice at this
Don't
point,
touch anything that has an arm attached to it, though.
you would also hear at this point there are people like kind of like watching this spectacle happen of the ship getting destroyed, and like talking about it or cheering. It's basically like part of it, and it's almost like entertainment for these people, it seems like.
Is it entertaining to watch?
No, it's imagine like a horrible event happens in a way, but it's at a time when entertainment is kind of a little more sparse. People go look at anything. People watch people get hanged for the longest time in history. So
I'm asking you. Is it entertaining?
yeah, kind of. Like, it's loud, explosive sounds. Like a ship is being literally gets pelted with numerous cannon shots and sinks right in front of you in between the cliff sides.
Hey, Amelia, want to put a copper on how many people get eaten by sharks?
What?
Want to put a copper on how many people get eaten by sharks?
A popper?
Copper.
A
Copper.
popper.
A copper. With a C. Because I can't pronounce
Copper where?
anything.
This bit is so stupid.
Copper.
Well, I guess that's not gonna happen because I just saw two of them get eaten.
I honestly can't wait to get out of this city. It's too much destruction.
Seems like it gets attacked every day.
Yeah.
Man, the graveyard here must be crazy.
You mean in the sea?
Yeah. Wonder if people bury their next of kin with anything valuable here.
I just want a nice picnic. Can we stop talking about death and destruction?
Agreed. Let's just eat.
Okay.
Okay.
As you guys dig into your food, some time passes. You guys
Just
can
to be
roll
that
perception.
guy, I conjure a very fancy knife and fork to eat my sandwich.
You gotta cut. You gotta cut away.
Sandwich?
Yes.
You gotta cut away the crust, right?
How do you even eat a sandwich with a fork and knife?
You're watching me do it.
It surprises me.
Oh my god.
Tingle's sandwich, bread and all, tastes like bacon.
So,
Disgusting.
Amelia, what did you want to talk to me about?
If it's still loud, he's still got his hands.
No.
in his ear.
Like the ship was pretty quickly destroyed. Cannon fire eventually ceases.
Oh, don't worry. I'll talk to you later about it. Just enjoy the beach day.
We're not at the beach.
The sun, the sand, the water, the destruction, the sandwich.
I'm just gonna lay down and like cover my face with my arm and try not to listen to everyone for a little bit.
Okay. As you lay down, you remember basically Kairakis inviting you to join his group.
Correct.
Yeah.
You look a bit uncomfortable. Do you want a pillow?
No, thank you. I'm fine. Just thinking.
Alright.
What you thinking about?
Nothing.
Oh, is that like a meditation thing you do to hunt monsters?
Let's go with that. Yes.
I think she
Meditating
just
is
wants to
super-
relax. Could you stop asking her questions?
Well, I don't know why she would want to relax literally right next to us.
It's nice weather.
I thought we were having a relaxing beach day.
Yeah, but we're still gonna talk.
I didn't say you couldn't talk. I just said that I'm fine and I'm just thinking about nothing. That's all.
So really,
We have a lot of big personalities here. They don't mesh very well.
We mesh super well. We all have bracelets now.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Episode 11. We find out that our characters don't work well together.
That's the fun of it.
Well, Emilio's gonna pull out his cards and he's gonna shuffle them up.
Okay.
Anybody interested?
Do we have to do this every time we're not doing something?
Yeah, what else is there to do?
Talk?
Oh,
Okay, we can talk. We can also talk to the universe. Are you
What's the
interested?
Underdark like? I've never been there personally.
It's dark.
Sounds fun.
It's dark and it's underground.
Describe to me your place of living before you came here.
It was dark and it was underground.
Emilio, come on. There's got to be more to it than that.
did you have fun underground parties?
Mm,
Was there parking?
How did
I
you get up
guess
here?
I walked. I caught a couple of like lifts from some carts, but I walked mostly.
Hmm.
Are they like grand cities like here, or how is it built down there?
There's definitely a grand city. That's where I come from. Kind of boring, honestly.
Why
It's
did
like
you
every
come
other
up?
city, except for dark.
Why did you come up here?
I like the surface. You guys got things that we don't have down there.
Like what?
Owlbears.
The sun?
The stars, the sky. Lots of animals we don't have. Like cats.
I guess you
Oh
don't-
shit! I have to feed the cat.
I was just about to say, as soon as she said the cat, I'm like, you remember something?
Are we just gonna take this cat everywhere?
I told you I wanted to sell it, but no, you wanted to starve it to death in the room.
I don't want to starve it to death in the room.
It's been 24 hours since its last meal.
Fine, I'm just gonna go.
Has
I'm
anyone
gonna
been giving
leave
it
then.
water?
I gave
Yes.
it water and food this morning. It's okay.
Okay, Emilio has given it food and water this morning. I'll give it some more tonight. It's fine.
But like
Alright.
seriously, you guys probably should figure out something, because if it dies, we're probably just gonna be able to make a little bit of money off its pelt.
We're not gonna kill the cat. And we're also not gonna sell it.
We're taking it to that island that you guys wanted to look at and steal stuff from or whatever.
I mean, that was the ideal, but then we forgot to feed it. So,
It
just
has
planning
been
ahead.
fed. It's
Super.
fine.
What happened last night? You kind of just like walked in a little dazed.
Oh,
And you
crazy
had-
story. I went for a walk.
Yeah.
I think I blacked out. I don't know, things went really dark for a second. And then the guards found me with a bolt in my arm.
You were high, weren't you?
You
But
can't
you don't have a crossbow. How'd you shoot yourself?
I don't know. I really don't.
He was high. And he
I
doesn't
went to
remember.
I went to the tailor's. Then I got pain in the arm, and the guards found me. I think that's how the event went.
If you're gonna wander
Yeah.
the summer where you don't know, and it's dark, please just ask someone else to come with you.
That's the thing. It was bright when I went out, and when I got shot, it was dark.
You came back to us high as a kite with
That
a
was
lot of drugs on you that you didn't have before.
To be fair, that was probably the adrenaline.
Zubik,
No,
did you maybe
that was
steal
not
those?
the adrenaline.
You literally
Zubik,
gave
did you
someone
maybe
the vow.
steal those drugs and then get shot trying to steal them?
I don't think so. I didn't have any spells to use, and I'm not that crafty. And I have no gold, so I either got robbed or I spent it on something.
Okay.
Should we maybe head back there later today? See if we can retrace where you were?
Ah, it's okay. It wouldn't be the first time.
I mean, if somebody robbed you, they kind of gotta die.
We'll talk about this later. This is supposed to be a beach day, right, Valsira? Nice picnic. We'll talk of death.
Yep, it's.
I
really
did
fun
loop it
so
around.
far.
So, Clover,
So,
what's
how are
your
these sandwiches? Oh, never mind.
What's
what's your home like? Because
Um,
if it's dark, I'm leaving.
no, it's quite cold. It probably it snows probably half the year.
And you see Zubrik's writing this down in this large, ledger book he has. The one he got from Emilio, 20 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're right outside the wildlands, is what some people call it. Lot of unique creatures there. Tons of owlbears. Yeah.
You come from a tribe, a city, township.
We call it a town. We call it it's, I guess, tribe-like. It's just a bunch of halflings like me, about 100 or so.
Oh, if there's only 100 of you, how long have you been there?
For as long as I could remember.
What's it
We're-
called?
We don't really have a name for it. We just call it the Lotus Den Village.
Is there like a den in a hill or something with lotuses in it?
No, it's I don't know. There's like giant mushrooms. There's some cliffs that people live in. I don't know. It's just whatever seems crafty and works well.
Would it be possible to visit one day?
Oh, I'd love to show you guys. Or the Wanderer has been there.
Yes, I have.
She helped us with a giant wolf problem. Yeah, I'd love to show you guys around. It'd
That'd be
probably
very
be
nice.
probably best to go after winter because it gets quite harsh there.
Well, I'm not much of a cold guy, so yeah, I'd be down for that. You know, maybe.
Sounds like a plan. What of you, Valsera? Where do you hail from?
Let me look at my bio.
Dear diary.
You want me to tell you?
No, because I looked at my bio. So, yeah, I am from. Oh, I have the town name. What's the actual
It's the island to the west called Rokuna. It's the Rokuna Empire.
So,
The people call
I'm-
it Rokuna normally.
yeah, I'm from Racuna, a small town there. I decided to leave and seek out a more adventurous life about a year or so ago.
I had to. I'm sorry. Go on.
What
Same
happened?
thing, it's okay.
What?
Hakuna Matata
Oh, okay.
means no worries.
To be
And-
honest, it was a pretty boring place. I don't have anything interesting to say about it. The town is called Rust Grove, so I think that tells you the sort of place that it is.
That's fair.
Did you have like a booming iron industry?
It's named after the forest, that area.
It's just kind of rusty colored everywhere.
Wow.
In my experience, there's no such thing as a boring culture or place. Everything has its own little creative sparks that differentiate themselves from others. It's always interesting.
I can agree with that.
Well, the local tavern did have some good food that I cooked.
Wow. Should cook more often then.
Yes.
How would you
That'd be
rate
nice.
these sandwiches if you're like a professional cook?
I don't know how good are the sandwiches.
Who made them?
I did.
They probably wouldn't be bad. You got some meat, like cured meats, some veggies, and some bread. Just slap them together. Maybe a bit of cheese here and there.
Also, if you see that picnic basket over there, it's still full of ingredients. I
Yeah.
don't know how much people
He
eat.
bought way too much. He bought days worth, or they
They're just
bought
like,
days
sure,
worth,
have
yeah.
6 hams.
Well, I think these sandwiches are very good. They hit the spot.
It's good to hear.
Would you
yeah.
be able to go back?
Go back to Rust Grove?
Or visit?
Visit, sure, but I don't think I would want to live there again. It's not the most exciting, and I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of memories there that I don't really care to revisit.
I can
Yeah.
understand that.
Yep.
Well, Super, Tingle, what about you?
All I know is it's sandy and hot.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is there anything
Well-
else?
There's a lot of festivals that are not fun at all. And yeah,
What's a
um,
festival?
it's where people believe they're having fun, but then it's all a lie.
How can a festival not be fun?
I'm so sorry. I'll mute myself.
Well, you know how sometimes. Do you have friends, Emilio? So,
Rude.
Friendship bracelet.
Look at his wrist, come on.
okay. Well, you know how sometimes somebody will be like, hey, I got you a great present. And you're so excited and you're so glad that they care and they're happy to be around you and you're happy to be around them. And then you open it up and it's just a flaming bag of dog shit.
Not a good present.
Never done that to me.
That's kind of like the festivals where I'm from. You're just having so much fun and you're so glad to be a part of it. And then it's not just crap. It's all just crap and it's based on nothing. It's all lies and it's all bullshit.
The festival is bullshit and lies?
Yeah.
About what?
Just kind of everything.
It's like
Yeah.
a touch
They
stuff.
say that. Yeah.
I've known you for 10 years and you have never told me this.
Yep. Yeah, I've kind of, died almost multiple times, and I've hated every second of it. And I've realized that sometimes it's better to just let things out a little bit. Also, the rest of you guys apparently feel pain. So, share it.
Did you not know we felt pain?
Well, I mean, I knew you guys felt pain, but like emotional pain and just kind of that realization that when everyone else has a really bad day, it sucks just as much for them.
You just learned that?
Well, I kind of knew about it, but I didn't really click,
Based on the way that we've talked for the past week, I didn't think you would have emotional pain. You seem very like screw everyone else.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of been a habit.
I'm
is
glad,
that. Go ahead.
I'm glad you're, learning empathy.
16 gold at a time.
Is your lack of empathy related to these festivals?
Mm, Yeah, it's I'd say they were part of it. It's like icing on a cake, but the cake's made of corpses.
Is this like a gnome thing? Because the other gnomes seem kind of like this too.
Uh, I think it's mostly where I'm from, but I mean, I haven't interacted with a lot of like really bumpkin gnomes a lot, so
What's it called? Where are you from?
you kind of got the name almost right. It's earlier when you were looking for the map. It's Cherrydale.
Doesn't sound scary.
Sounds like a nice place.
Name
If you
change
go
city.
there, you. I told this to Zubik earlier, so I'll just tell you guys kind of in the same way. You know how I really wanted to go to that tomb that just got uncovered, and it's like a huge big deal, but it's also incredibly dangerous, and lots of people would die if they go there? Just
Yeah.
think of Cherrydale as kind of a place that if you go there, you're probably gonna die.
Why? Are
Because
the
it's
festivals
really.
like? Do you like sacrifice people, like visitors?
What?
Hard insight.
Yeah, just give me an insight check on that. And Robert, you could, I guess, a deception check to see.
Alrighty. I can do a tower deception
Yeah,
or
tower
something.
deception.
Yeah.
Okay,
forgot
let's see.
tower.
Where's my character to click on for tower? Okay, insight. Oh, it's just tower is insight right now, but
Oh, okay. Sorry. You can
no
you
worries.
can roll me that and then tell me your modifier.
Okay. Okay, not advantage, correct. And my modifier would be a -1.
-1. Okay. I mean, Clover, he's acting. I'll say he's acting a little sus, but like it just seems like a person who doesn't want to talk about their past is all. Like it's like just some bad memories overall. It doesn't seem like overly bad.
You know what? I'll take your word on that. I won't go there.
That's
Yeah.
probably for the best.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, let's go visit Clover's hometown.
It sounds so much funner.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, what about Zubrik? We haven't heard your hometown story.
I don't have a hometown. I was born in the deserts, and I've traveled my whole life.
Okay, do you have a family or a tribe, other sort of group that you're with?
My father belonged to a tribe, the Illumis, but he branched off in his youth and began traveling with my other father for 40 years, 50 years.
And your other father was just kind of a free agent to begin with? Not connected
He
to
was
a
born.
tribe?
I don't know too much of his past. I know he was born of a city up in the Særald, but nothing specifically.
Where did they like to explore or travel? Did they have like a set country or nation they like?
No, we went all over. Only place we didn't touch were the wildlands.
Oh.
It's
And
also
he holds
called.
up the.
I will say the wildlands are also called the moving wilds, and the reason why people don't go there is it's because it's very dangerous. The whole
Too
area.
wild.
The Yelp score's too low.
Yeah.
He holds up the ledger. It's like a really thick ledger. He goes, my parents started writing this book, and I've continued on. It's all the places we've traveled. Emilio's been looking at it for a while.
I mean,
It's actually really interesting.
if you ever want to go to the Moving Wilds, I'm more than welcome to help you get there. That's kind of like, I guess, one of our specialties. We help people, anyone who wants to explore the Moving Wilds.
I'll take note. I have a section in the book just for that.
I've seen you writing in there before, Zubik, but I never really asked about because, it's your business. But if you ever want to know any, archaeology info about, a place we're at, I could definitely help you fill something in.
That'd be nice. Seems we're all full of secrets today, right, Tingle?
Well, technically it's not a secret if you mention you're not going to say it. Then it's just obstruction.
It's just privacy.
So how did you two meet?
Funny story. You say that, and I'm suddenly going, I gotta read my backstory.
I was new to a dig site. I had been invited by the archaeology guild I was interning for. Tingle was already there, I believe, doing some labor work.
Technically labor, and more like on the side labor. Well, I was actually just grabbing some stuff that they didn't notice.
Yes, I stumbled upon him stealing from one of the sites.
Yeah.
And it was love at first sight.
Yes.
Well, if you count not turning me in so my hands were chopped off as love, I guess.
Sounds romantic to me.
Yes, well, after the site was finished being dug up and... Yeah, we'll say dug up. We left and just made our way through the Særald, finding other sites and doing other things.
Zubrik's the magic, and I'm the... I guess also sort of magic, but...
Really? Neither of you are the brains.
No, but that's okay. It sounds like you hit it off, and that's good.
2 left feet, but they made it across a desert.
Beautiful.
Yeah, pretty much.
What's the archaeology out there? Like, are the runes
Well,
what are they like?
It's a lot of dust. Like, you think of old terms and you just think, yeah, of course they're dusty, but when it's that dry for that long, like, I've had to shovel through literal feet of dust. I would be up to my neck in dust. I hate dust.
Sounds bad for your skin.
Yeah.
Your sinus.
That too.
Most of the dig-ups in the ruins are far more ancient than here. They date back sometimes millennia. Most of the stuff we've discovered has been more recent years, and by recent, couple hundred years, but nothing extremely old. Most of those are taken over by the more prominent parts of the guild.
If a place hasn't just been looted by, anybody already.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of lootings.
Pro tip, if you find a place and you're not finding, good stuff in the front, you're only going to find good stuff in a hidden room, because it's all got already.
Good tip.
What about... I should start off with a question. What are your thoughts on the information you got, Emilio? With your parents?
It's... I don't know what to think about it. I don't really want to think about them being lost at sea. I just hope that they really did steal that boat, but my moms weren't into doing stuff like that. They weren't into scamming people or stealing from people.
And did they live in the Underdark with you?
We traveled actually a lot to the surface. We had a home in the Underdark, and we also had a caravan that we would take out, because my mother was actually a merchant, traveling merchant, and my mom and I would go with her. So we'd go traveling for months on the surface. It was really great because I get to see all of the cute little animals. They're kind of ugly because they got 2 little feet and not enough exoskeletons. And I don't know.
Are you talking about
humanoids?
Are you talking about humanoids? Only 2
No,
feet
the
and no
animals.
access?
Like squirrels and stuff.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
What,
they're
do you
kinda
mean
weird
like
looking, but they're kinda cute.
scorpions?
I love
Those, like-
scorpions. Scorpions, spiders, centipedes, bugs in general. Or like possums. Or like anything with eyes that glow in the dark. And you can see their cute little faces. It's so
What kind of
cute.
animals are underground?
Mostly nocturnal ones. I don't know, a lot of people have called them ugly. Like travelers come down there and then they see them. They'll see like a raccoon with like the cute little hands and it'll be like holding something and they'll call it ugly. And I'm like, why the hell are you here then if you're just gonna call our animals ugly? I don't like. Surface dwellers were really annoying when I was a kid, but
That's fair. Oh, another question, not to peer too much, but in the letter that Loston read, it said something about your mother reading the cards. Did you learn that from your mother?
yeah, actually, my mother's the one that taught me how to read cards. This is actually her deck. She gave it to me before she left, and it doesn't like me as much as it likes her, which is kind of difficult. It's not a very black or white deck, so a lot of its readings, it can be really hard to interpret. I also didn't get to finish my teachings with her before she left. And I didn't get to do it for a very long time, so I'm really rusty. But I do my best, and it's just hard for me to read them sometimes. I hope maybe I get my own deck, but that tends to be a thing that you're gifted, and unfortunately she just lent me these, so they're not my deck.
Well, where would you need to go if you wanted to try and learn to read the cards better?
It's not something you really go to a place to learn. It's just something that comes to you over time, or is taught to you by somebody that's already within that. It's almost like a closed religion, but not really. It's just something that's passed down. So I don't really have a place I can go. I'm just kind of trying to learn on the go, I guess. I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
So both of your mothers druids as well?
My mother was. She was the one that taught me a couple of like cantrips and stuff as a kid. She taught me how to do it, where to pull it from, how to feel everything around you.
From my understanding, most druid circles are very tight-knit. They do branch across many continents. Can you not find somebody around here that might know something?
Probably, but I have yet to see anybody that might know something. I mean, there was that half-orc at Lost and Found, but he didn't look like he's from the same branch.
I mean, all magic for myself is arcane. I would assume all magic for druids is natural. It comes from the same source.
Yeah, I could see that.
I guess you can say that. It's really weird to describe how I cast magic. I don't know. You guys do it from like book learning or gods. I kind of just, I don't know. It's all around you actually. Anybody here could cast magic. If Valsira wanted to, she could cast magic.
Zubrick.
I do cast magic sometimes.
Well, I mean like more magic.
Ooh, what a
More
challenge.
spell.
Zubrick, real quick. From your like arcane knowledge, how spells are cast, you know, yeah, there are different sources, but overall, the source of magic is the oldest. Like you would know this as like the oldest known source of creation or manipulation of what already exists to make anything and everything. It for arcane wise, it's like finding the right glyphs that lets you manipulate these things. For clerics, it's more connected to powerful beings. So like imagine kind of like a warlock, you know, similar in sense, but different because it's not a pact, it's more of a trust. Well, druids, yeah, it's more that for druids, they learn how to tap into the natural ley lines, like the magical lines that already kind of exist, and tug at them without needing the glyphs. Which makes it their magic technically considered as wild magic. Not like wild as an uncontrollable, as for some that might be afflicted with, wild magic properties, but you know what I'm trying to say. There are different classes of magic, and what you were saying was absolutely right, that they are different.
Well, all magic originates from somewhere, so if we do end up sticking together for long enough, I'm sure you'll grow just as much as we will.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. It's kind of something I'm working on. Learning more. Interpreting things better.
While we're on that topic, what happened with you and Bloodbeard? You gave him a reading that made him mad for some reason?
It's so stupid. He comes up to me in a tavern one night. He's drunk as hell. He sees me reading cards for people, and then he asks for a reading for this mission thing he wants to go on. So I give him a reading. And the cards, they just really don't fucking like him. So they give him, like, the most vague description of this mission. So I'm kind of like, well, you might run into some problems, but it should be okay. It was kind of hard to describe. So he thinks that that means to go ahead and be reckless or whatever. He goes on the mission. He comes back a month later to the same tavern, yelling and screaming at me, calling me all kinds of names. I don't even know what happened. Like, I guess he just lost a lot of money or something, but he was really pissed. And then every time I saw him in a tavern after that, it was him pointing me out to everybody, saying I'm a charlatan and I'm a scammer, and just like ruining all my business. Because that's how I make money. I don't really have another way to make money other than reading people's cards. And I'm not a scammer. The cards just don't like him. The cards don't like him. They don't want to tell him anything, so they didn't tell him anything. And I tried my best to warn him.
Would that perhaps be the mission where he lost all of his friends and crew and they all died horribly?
No, it wasn't that. It was definitely something money related.
Oh, then he's a bitch, don't worry.
Yeah.
He is quite a broke bitch. That is well established.
Huh? Now, speaking of being broke, I know it's not much, but tomorrow I'm going to be making a sword and selling it. So if any of you guys know how to make money in a single night, that might be a good way to, if you can, no one else can make swords. Oh well.
I just thought of
I'm
something
gonna make
very
some
funny.
money.
I would like to put my beetle on the table, Peter.
Okay.
With the
Yeah,
suit.
you mean on the
It doesn't have the suit yet. On
Like-
the picnic table that
Yeah.
Tingle brought up. Not Tingle, Clover brought up.
you mean
I would
the
like to cast
blanket, but yeah.
Flock of Familiars to make 2 more beetles.
Okay.
And then use Minor Illusion to make a couple more beetles. And have them all dance.
Dinner and a show.
sync.
Yes. I have
I'm
the power to do that.
I'm sorry, what is this?
There's
This is amazing.
there's I would say that would be 3, 4, 5, about 6 beetles, large like Hercules beetles. Just doing a little jig.
This is called Armada's Waltz. I learned this back in the Særald. Look at them go.
They're so cute.
Wow.
You'd probably make a couple copper on the street with this.
I don't see why anybody wouldn't pay to see this. This is adorable.
Okay, there you go. You can make a few copper that way.
I mean, aren't we supposed to get a bunch of money from whatever Landrick had?
That's later though. I have 4 silver to my name.
Oh, I mean, I could just give you some money, and I pull out a platinum. Everyone seems so crazy that I have these. I don't know. Here you go.
Don't.
I was kind of trying to make a joke about you pulling those out earlier, but like, if you can seriously just make those, like, keep doing it.
Oh, here's another one. And then that's it. I got nothing else.
How long have you been able to do this?
Me? Since I've had platinum?
He's not actually creating them with magic.
He can duplicate
Or they're
platinum.
not,
Even I haven't
no.
mastered those abilities.
So
no,
wait, you're
the-
duplicating? You're duplicating it?
No. In the town before, we got like 4 or 5 platinum. I can't remember.
Yeah, does
Okay.
anybody else remember?
I just haven't spent it. Mainly
Well,
because I
it seemed
don't
like you were.
know how.
Okay, all right, fair enough. It seemed like it just came out of nowhere that you all of a sudden had
No,
platinum.
I just
So
kept on pulling them out of my coin pouch.
Maybe you should just stop doing that for now
Okay.
on. We've killed for less.
dark.
I
I
want to see
don't-
if everybody's wearing their friendship bracelets. Because Valsira was very dodgy about hers. And Zubrik does not seem like the man to wear a friendship bracelet.
I'm wearing it. I'm not happy about it, but I'm wearing it.
It's on his ankle.
An
Sexy.
anklet. Okay.
So sexy look.
Tingle's
You
wearing
said it was a
his-
drow thing, right? So,
I said it was a friendship thing.
but you're a drow, so I assume they're entwined. I've never heard of this before. Tingle's never gotten me one.
It's from me and Clover, though.
I'm
It's
not
a
drow.
thing.
So your culture share something. It'd be very disrespectful not to take it.
I mean, I'm really glad that you're wearing it because that's a symbol of our friendship. But
I don't know. If you wanted to go that deep, my culture is very much like it's just a give and take. People are more than willing to give other people what they have, and if people want to return a gift, they would. So, in a sense, I'm just, giving it because I like you guys. I don't expect anything in return.
we give friendship in return. That's what it's for. It's to show that we're a team. A team of friends.
Yes,
Friends for life.
exactly. Friends for life.
Can I read the disdain on Valsira's face?
It's not so much disdain as like
Contempt?
begrudging acceptance of the situation.
Okay.
Yeah. we'll go with that.
Oh, I brought a kettle and I pulled it out of the basket. It's full of water. I just don't have any way to heat it up.
I'm sorry, I thought Clover was gonna say a gun, and I
Oh no!
Oh no, one of you guys gave me some tea a while back, so I just thought we could have some tea.
I guess I
Okay.
can try.
Do it.
I'll conjure just like a metal base kind of thing, and then I'll try to heat it up with like a held firebolt.
You're gonna try to hold a firebolt?
Yeah, if I can conjure a fucking thing of fire, I'm sure I can make like a small ember in my hand.
Oh, well, yes, but the firebolt is like you're projectiling it because it is hot, It's not like you could just hold on to it.
Alright, then I will conjure a thick piece of metal and blast it with firebolt over and over until it's red hot. And then put the kettle on top of it.
Sure, I'll let you do that. Just kind of.
This will take me like 6 minutes. Give me a second.
Well, don't worry. Well, Zubrik's getting the metal warmed up that way. I can start preheating it.
And Tingle will prestidigitate for 12 seconds a small lit birthday candle in his hand and put it underneath the kettle.
Oh my god, this display of magical prowess.
Oh my god. Oh my god. You guys always, every time you do a beach episode, and they're far and few between, it always ends up being, look how pathetic we are.
This time it's the truth.
I could just go back in town and grab some wood.
Don't
No.
worry, we got this.
We've set our course.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, eventually it is going to, you're not going to destroy the piece of metal or anything like that. You're going to eventually heat it up. It's going to take forever though. It doesn't fully actually like, a kettle, it doesn't make that like whistling sound fully, but it gets just warm enough where tea is possible.
It's just a mournful toot.
Yeah, like that like like the tail end of a whistle, like the barely, like maybe, yeah, it's like that. That's all you get. It never whistles fully. God damn it! This episode is great.
I don't know how much more of this I can do.
It's great. All of you guys, like, I haven't had to talk at all, which is great. It means that you guys are really taking it away, so I love that. But yeah, the kettle's ready. Ready enough. You guys pour out some nice, I guess, teas for yourselves. And
Did you remember to buy tea, Clover?
No, someone gave me some tea.
What kind of tea is it?
Who gave it to you?
I can't remember. It might have been Zubrick.
Is it funny tea? Zubrick?
No, it's tea. It's tea. I've tested it.
Is that from when we first met?
I think so.
I don't know what kind of tea it is. I just got it from the general store,
Yeah.
I think, or the tavern, one of the two.
It's tea,
Okay, it's tea. All right, fine.
Hey, don't worry, Zubrick doesn't give away his drugs to anybody, so we're good.
I mean, he gave some to me.
What?
Never mind.
As the tea, as you guys brew the tea and pour it out and spread it amongst yourself, there's a bit of cough droppy smell to it.
Gross.
Menthol.
Yeah,
Mm.
kind of minty-ish cough droppy smell. Because I
Sounds
know
bad.
where you guys got the tea. I actually remember this. So
Yeah, it was the medicine tea. For
yeah, it was the
this
medicine.
sick-ass guy.
No, it's bacon flavored tea.
Oh,
God, what is
no.
wrong with you?
That's so
Tinkle.
disgusting.
Not everything has to be bacon flavored.
Do it should be bacon flavored?
It doesn't
Bacon.
have to be bacon flavored, but it's so much better when it is.
Bacon doesn't even taste good.
It's
Well,
okay.
I mean,
You
it
might have
does
not
taste
had-
good when it's bacon,
Yeah.
but not when everything is bacon.
I'm surprised, Valsera. You can talk to pigs and yet you still want to eat them. I don't really.
Have
Once
you ever
talk
had?
to something, you don't want to eat it anymore.
I mean, I've never spoken to a pig for that reason.
We're gonna find a pig and we're gonna have you have a conversation with it, and then maybe you'll stop eating pork.
Or maybe she won't. Maybe it won't affect her at all.
Oh my god, I'm gonna
Yeah,
need
maybe
to.
it won't, but
I-
at least it's worth a shot.
Sorry, I have to break the meta real quick. I need to do a Henry Crabgrass episode too, don't I? I'm so sorry. I know the people that know it will know it. The people that don't, it's fine.
Oh, I get what you mean now.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
a,
want
it's a
but I'm
great.
aware of the progress.
I will gladly do a Henry Crabgrass episode. Okay. God damn. All right, go ahead.
I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of animals that are raised up in a farm.
Yeah, well, it depends, I guess, on the person that's doing the raising. But I'm not too keen. Like, I don't care if anybody else eats meat, but I don't know. At least try to talk to an animal once. See how you feel.
Our village, my village, eats meat, but it's in between. We don't eat it all the time. It's very much we just don't like farming it. It's wrong. It's like, I don't know, the cat that we have is in the cage, and I don't like that.
Why did you put all these cold cuts on these sandwiches then?
It's because you guys like meat.
Well,
I've been picking it out of
Okay.
my sandwich.
I didn't. I
I'll
didn't
take
put,
it.
I didn't put Emilio's in mine because I don't know where it came from.
Okay, fair enough.
I just know that you guys, I mean, especially Tingle.
Yep.
So
I feel like you could feed Tingle wet sand and he'd just make it taste like bacon and eat it anyways.
It wouldn't
No,
be
it would, but that would be
that's
food.
fair.
Wait, can we do that? Tingle, make some wet sand. Amelia's gonna scoop up some wet sand. Eat it.
No.
You
I'll
can eat.
give
I'm not
you
eating
1
sand.
gold if you eat the wet sand.
Don't do it.
I'll put
He's
a
not some
platinum
sort
on
of
it.
Two
farm
gold.
animal.
I'll put a
Tingle.
platinum on it.
2 gold
Stop
if you
it.
eat
2 gold
all
and a
of the
platinum.
wet
You're
sand.
on.
Tingle prestidigitates the sand to taste like bacon and then prestidigitates a silver spoon and starts eating the sand.
Give me a Constitution save to see if you could keep it down.
I never said anything about keeping it down.
If you throw up on me, you're not getting anything.
Yeah, you hold yourself from coughing. It's
like the driest, grittiest bacon I've ever tasted.
You don't want to chew it. It's like you kind of put it in your mouth. It tastes like bacon. You take a bite, like you try to take a bite, and it's just the sand grit, like. So you're like, you know what? I just need to kind of like swallow this, and you just kind of
So
gulp it down.
Don't worry, you got your bacon tea.
That's
2
gonna
gold
make
from you, 1 platinum from you.
Yep, there you go.
2 gold. Here you go. You're gonna get so sick later.
I'm going to go vomit immediately.
Alright,
Oh,
do it over
God.
there though.
Alright, well, for the sake of my ledger, since I'm writing down all your places of birth, what are your last names?
I don't have one.
I don't have one.
You might
I
have.
don't know. Is that a thing people have?
Can I roll an insight on Valsir? Because that just sounds like she's trying to be cool.
I'm a tiefling.
I don't have a last name.
I'm a tiefling. We don't have last names.
So no wonder tieflings don't have last names.
It's always.
It depends, because they might have a virtue name they might go by instead of a last name too.
Oh,
Or if they don't like either, who's to say they just go by one name?
Well,
I
that's
don't
2 without a
have one.
name.
I mean, I guess you could just say, I don't know. I'm Clover from the Lotus Den village. There's no other Clovers in the Lotus Den village, so
The
like,
Clover. Heard of them?
I don't know.
So I just got real Naruto vibes off that.
Good.
Was it from the run earlier?
I'm Clover from the Hidden Leaf.
Clover from the Hidden Lotus Den.
Gosh. What about you, Emilio?
out of character, I have not come up with a last name for it.
Oh my god.
The book will.
You guys know me, I hate creating last names for characters. I rarely do it. So I still don't have
The book will stay blank. It's fine.
it will say whatever name he ends up saying.
I don't need to write any family trees in here. It's cool. I'll find somebody else.
A family tree.
Yes.
Whoosh.
You're so aerodynamic. It's not an actual tree, Clover. It's
Okay.
think of a fucking minor illusion, a goddamn tree
I've
with
also
names
seen
on it.
some cultures refer to them as rivers.
Branches, roots.
I mean, we have all of those at our village, but not a family one.
It's
It's
more
not
so
a
just to track your lineage.
Oh, I see.
So they're like your parents, and then their parents and their sibling, and then
Which
their parents and their sibling. You know, keep
Clo-
going out. That looks like a tree.
Yeah.
Clover, that's still kind of a weird, you know,
Yeah.
it's weird overall.
I mean, it's. I understand the premise, but like, ours would just have one line. It would be
Oh no.
it would be like Liara as well as the god of earth, and then us.
Can you elaborate?
I guess you guys don't under. So, we don't really have births per se. We have like, I guess, a coming of age. The first day of spring when snow is gone. Another one of us is here.
You just apparate?
Do you pop out of the ground?
You hatch?
Some. No.
Here,
Or like flowers?
We have some. I mean, it's very much everyone gets a name based on the way that they came through. So, I was found in a clover patch. Some are called like I have one of my friends called Shale, and he literally just popped out of a wall.
Are you
A
like
rock.
literally
Why didn't they call you
transmuted from Clover?
Sorry, what did he say, Tingle?
Look, like you have to get the mess from somewhere. Either it's magic just coalescing, or you're actually like transmuted from something. So if you're found in a clover field, are you like transmuted clover?
Maybe? Never gave it that much thought. It's just a thing that happened once a year.
I mean, that would make sense. It's just like everything that makes up you is just a different
It's just
combination of the things that make up clovers.
You see
I don't
Zubrick
know,
have like
I
a
mean-
very confused look on his face, and then that little small page he dedicated to you becomes like a whole handful of pages.
I mean, I guess I could show you. I mean, I can't really show you because it's kind of like only the people in the village know where the people are going to be coming from.
Yeah,
But it usually happens in spring.
it's considered a holy site for you guys.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm not the best at explaining this. I'm still fairly new, but some of the
How
elders
old are
could.
you, Clover?
I don't know, somewhere between 20 and 30-ish. I'm not entirely sure. Years are weird. I never
So,
really
okay.
counted age.
When you like came about, were you fully
Yes.
formed? Were you a baby?
We could talk. Is that not normal? Talking's
No.
just talking's second nature to me. I never had to learn it.
Do you have arms and legs, or did they
Yeah.
grow after?
No.
Did you have hair?
When I was born, I look so similar to what I am right now.
Do you age?
Yes.
Hmm.
It's just that I don't think 20 or 30 years is that long.
Do you die?
Yes.
Scared as I was before.
I know
no,
this sounds weird, you guys, but I've been there and they're all just like Clover.
So
like,
yeah.
this is the truth.
So
Are they
Clover.
like clones of Clover, or do they all look different?
they all have different looks. Main reason why I have like red hair and olive skin is just basically that's for how I was born. But like my friend Shale, they're very like dark complexion, kind of like rocky, dry skin. Just yeah.
Need
Wow.
some moisturizer then.
This might be like life-threatening, so we shouldn't test it out. But Clover, have you ever known any of your tribe to be hit by any kind of like a dispel magic effect? Because if you're transmuted out of whatever you were from, that would be pretty bad.
No, not that I know of. And also, when I said the village only has about 100 people, and that's because only one every year. So we roughly stay the same amount, unless people leave, like me, which is very rare.
Why did you leave?
Yeah, I think you know Emilio.
Anyways, can you procreate?
Don't know what that means.
Can you make little yous?
No.
Do you have
I have
genitals?
so many questions.
No.
You can't just ask someone if they
Oh,
have
wait,
genitals,
okay, how do you-
Amelia.
I unscrew the hatch like everybody else.
I don't understand.
Like, you know, when you eat, you create waste, and then you have to dispel the waste from your body? How do you do
I
that?
pick a flower from my head.
Is that pee?
Why?
If that's what
I've
you
seen you
consider
throw
it.
those at people.
You've been giving that to people as gifts!
They're flowers! There's
oh my
nothing
God,
weird
you're
about
right.
that.
Your friends really do just give you shit, and you think it's beautiful, but it's not.
Clover
Shut
was
up, the prince.
Clover was like the evilest one of all of you so far. Just giving people shit for fun.
They're flowers. There's nothing weird about them. The flower from here is the same flower from there.
I mean, I guess you kind of have a point there.
I'm so confused.
Clover is not.
Don't worry, I'm just as confused as I am towards you and your pee and self-recreation and family trees. It's all confusing for me as well.
Clover is just a different type of a person from the rest of us, but it's not a bad thing.
Basir,
Right.
did you know about the poop flower thing?
Would you have told me about that, Tristan?
If you asked about it, sure.
I feel like after a year of traveling together, I would have noticed that you never peed or pooed, so I feel like it would have come up. So we'll say that I knew about it, yeah.
And you didn't tell any of us?
I mean, I don't just tell people about my friends' potty habits when I meet them, typically.
Super, I'm so sorry. I have one of Clover's flowers pressed in your book right now. I was gonna save it after, but I kind of
It's just the flower.
Well,
It's not like literal pee, it's like your hair
Don't worry,
or
I
something.
got this,
It's
Zubrik.
just-
Tingle's gonna use prestidigitation to make a little tiny vacuum, suck up the flower in Zubrik's book, and start dry cleaning the page.
If it's weird or gross, I can stop doing it. I'm sorry.
no,
It's not weird or gross. You guys
it's
are being immature.
part
It's
of
like
who
you've
you
never
are.
met someone who pees through their hair clovers before.
He was
Like,
born
grow
from
up.
the ground. We have
That's fine. You know, he does
There should be
him.
a
Just I'm not gonna
incubation
wear
period.
a clover from him. You know.
I can
Well, we can
literally
freak
accept
out.
everything else except for the poo flower thing.
I guess if we
my God,
consider
that's
him
fair.
if we consider him a
Grow
plant,
up.
I guess it's okay. Strange.
Also,
Yeah, but they
Clover is
consume food.
them, not
The,
him.
them, yeah, sorry. Well, then.
Okay,
Well,
let's all move on.
So
Let's
purple
switch to a weird
tieflings.
place.
I've never seen a purple tiefling before. How does that work? Is that like a mother-father thing?
Why are you white?
Sometimes we're purple. I don't know. In Raccoona, there's a lot of us, and there's some different shades of us. But I feel like most people expect kind of the red family of shades. That's kind of the stereotypical one. But we're purple or blue or those kind of colors too.
I've seen gray to red and black in some cases. I've just never seen like purple or anything of that hue.
Yeah, I guess it's less common, but it's not unheard of where I'm from.
Like it's
So,
a
like-
regional thing then.
I guess so. I mean, there's just more of us, so it's a more diverse population of us.
So do you like know which of your ancestors was a demon or a devil or?
Is that how it works?
I mean, it was a really long time ago, like at the beginning of time, basically, so it's not really possible to know.
So you don't know if it was like Stuart, the low-level like office worker devil, or if it was like world-devouring super devil, or
You want me to tell you the info that most tieflings would know about how they came to this, like, to Særald?
Sure.
Okay. Basically, most of the tieflings would know this. They appeared onto Særald one day near the city of Rokuna through a rift. So this
A
is
rift?
technically a rift of sorts that just appeared.
Like a rift in the time-space continuum?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
A rift in space and time.
Some believe that they were summoned through like a ritualistic means through the dwarves and stuff like that. But either way, the tieflings appeared. And once people found out, and the rift disappeared, so there was no way back. So there are some tieflings that believe that they have a separate home that they need to return to or want to return to. Others, they don't care. However, that is like legends, basically. It's become legend, and it hasn't really been like a historical teaching thing. It's just like, I mean, technically we lived here long enough that this is home. Well, we might, if we believe the legends, we might have somewhere else that we fit in also. So, yeah.
So assume I said all that about tieflings.
wait, so you guys like came from somewhere?
That's
we just
what
went
they
through this with
say.
Clover.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they say, but I don't know. It's probably just a legend.
Wow. Well, if you ever have like any ancient records or temples or anything you need looked over, I'd love to, because I've not heard portals taking entire races around before. That's a new one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't personally own anything like that, but if we're ever in Raccoona, I can try to take you to some more historical type sites.
And maybe I can tell you who your daddy is, or demon daddy.
You would have also had a mother and a father. Like, your
Yeah,
race doesn't live forever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know who my father is.
But
I
who's your
lived with
demon
him.
father? Or mother? Or grandfather?
Yeah, maybe.
Or great grandfather? Or
I
great
mean,
great 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 grandfather?
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's possible to know that, but maybe.
Well then.
It's a good picnic. Take me
Learned a lot about each other.
We
None of you
sure
have last
did.
names. Two of you came from nowhere. Or at least your races did. Species, whatnot. And the other person came from the dark. That's all we got. I asked for details. I asked for details. You said the dark. It's dark. Over and over.
It's a big city. It's
I got that.
underground and it's dark. I don't know what else you want to know about it.
What's the name of the city?
Peter, what's the name of the city?
I had this. I have to actually look it up because I wrote it somewhere else. So I could give it to you later, but
Alright.
I have to find it right now.
I assume he said the name.
Anything interesting about your background, Tingle?
Well, so we mentioned I come from Cherrydale, and it's not a very great place. I learned a little bit of my mechanics when I was there, so yay, you know, Mom taught me. She was pretty fun, but you know, she's dead. Then my dad, he kind of taught me a little bit of my organizational skills, but he's dead too. So, you know, everybody I loved is dead. Yep.
What about Zubrik? You have Zubrik. And us, your best friends.
Yeah, but that's like friends, not family. You know?
What if
They're one and the
friends
same.
become family?
Well, I think that's called polyamory, but sure.
I
I
don't
mean-
mean like romantically.
I mean, how you define family, it's different from how I define family, because my whole village is my family.
Oh, yeah, that's not my case at all. Mm-hmm.
Do you have any family left?
Nope.
Well, you do now. 'Cause we're your family.
Just
Well,
don't become a werewolf again.
I
Okay.
can't promise on that one, but I will try. And thank you for adopting me.
You're my son now. Go to your room.
Oh my god.
Well, this
Okay.
got weird and now I'm emancipated and no longer your son.
Well, since you guys have made it weird over and over, I am gonna make it weird and ask Tingle and Zubrik, are you friends or boyfriends or what's the deal? Something in between,
Just friends, I think.
you think?
And Zubik gave me some rings called Lover's Rings, but that was kind of a weird thing time.
That was just a name after you identified it. There's a purpose. It's to make sure you don't die.
Yeah, so, you know, we tried to laugh about that. We didn't go, oh yes, my lover.
Okay, I mean, it's fine either way. I just
He's not my
Right.
type.
wasn't totally sure. Okay, well, who is your type? Pick one of us. Just kidding. You don't have to,
I'm
unless
good.
you want to.
Maybe later.
Yeah, I don't want to
Hmm.
think about anybody romancing Tingle. Like
You're
I've seen
so
enough
rude.
of his naked ass.
Rude
Tingle
to
just-
Tingle.
Tries to pose
Yeah.
seductively in his clothes, and it doesn't work for him at all.
Ugh.
Love
Why
that
you look
confidence.
like that?
Wow, Emilio, extremely rude.
That's 100% me.
Maybe somebody will love you one day.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. But hey,
Very rude.
I can always focus on my work instead of my feelings.
It's got dark.
As one does.
In the Underdark.
Yes.
Is there anything else special we should know about the rest of you?
Hmm.
Like, for example, my last name is Goblin for They of the Black Tongue. On my
Do you
father's
have a black
side,
tongue?
it's
Do you have
partially
a-
black. It's not
Wait,
pitch
stick your
black.
tongue out.
He'll stick his tongue out.
Where's the
It's a-
black?
It's actually like a really long tongue.
tongue.
Oh God.
Snake
Put it
Like-
away.
No, it's not
Black
snake-like.
Black tongue. That doesn't ring a bell.
It's like a lightish, darkish gray kind of thing.
Okay.
My father's tribe live in the swamps. Most of their diet consists of vegetation that's mostly acidic. So they're all resistant or immune to the acidic nature of the foods. I just got passed down the trait. I'm not as immune or resistant to it, but I have the tongue for it.
So you like sour stuff?
I can't taste sour.
Can you taste
What?
anything?
I thought you liked it. That's why you eat it all the time.
No, it just tastes like food.
Do you
Huh.
taste things?
Yeah, it's not everything but sour.
Oh.
Oh, so like an orange is really sweet for you.
Kind of, yes.
Hmm.
The yellow
Wow.
ones, the green ones, and the orange ones, yes.
Man, I thought you just really liked sour stuff, and I was like, oh, mine tastes like bacon, so I don't care, but, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Is there a reason everything has changed to bacon, besides that it tastes good?
You know, I grew up on bacon, it was pretty good.
Don't you miss things that taste not like bacon?
Not really, bacon's amazing.
Yeah, but don't you get sick of it after a while?
No, it's bacon.
Like a kid who's discovered buttered noodles.
Mm.
Because of you, every time I look at you, I taste bacon. And I don't like it anymore.
Well, actually, people taste like bacon, so everyone tastes bacon.
No, I just mean every time I look at you, I taste bacon.
You've 8 people?
Yeah, let's return to that.
No?
Those festivals really were fucked up, huh?
Oh my god, we're never
Yeah.
going there, ever.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so that's why you eat pigs. Because you've established that you'll eat things that actually can talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that's okay. You've made that decision.
I mean,
Well,
I've talked to
actually,
plants before. That doesn't stop me from eating them.
That's very
I
true,
haven't
yeah, I also-
participated in any of that kind of thing since I left, so, you know.
Plants can't feel pain, though. That's the thing.
Have you talked to one and then picked it? I haven't.
Well, I've talked to ones. I haven't picked them immediately after. I kind of just leave them alone.
Exactly. Aren't you scared?
No. It's like a cycle of life. It's like how other animals will eat other animals. I just don't particularly want to eat meat. Does this mean I have to only eat dirt from now on?
I can make it taste like bacon for you.
I'm not eating that wet sand shit. You almost look like you were gonna throw up.
Oh, yeah, it was terrible. But it didn't taste bad.
I think that I would die, like, 2 days later if I started only eating dirt.
Oh,
You guys
Val,
are so really strange.
Yeah. Val, could you teach me to cook sometime?
Sure. I guess we can try to ask a tavern cook if they'll let us mess around in the kitchen. I don't really know a lot of like campfire cooking stuff, particularly, but if I have actual, I can try to show you some stuff.
I know a little bit, but it always fascinated me.
Yeah, I had a question about Sarah. Why,
Uh-huh.
why do you wear those dark glasses at night? Like, how do you see with those?
Because she looks so cool.
Yeah. Because I look cool, obviously.
I mean, you do, but I thought there might have been like a reason, but okay.
Well, in the sunlight, they are also practical, but it's just part of my persona as the Wanderer. It gives me an air of mystery.
What do they do for the sunlight?
They block it somewhat.
Can I see your
Huh.
sunglasses?
If you give them back, yes.
I'll give them back after, don't worry.
Okay, yes, here you go.
Amelia's gonna put on the sunglasses.
It's so much better. It doesn't hurt to look at things.
Oh my god, I don't have a headache! Is
I
this what it's
told
like
you.
for everybody?
Yeah,
You get a
I told you to
headache?
get some.
I can actually see things. I don't have to squint. This is great. Can I have these? I'll pay you.
Peter, would it
Eh?
be possible to obtain other ones?
They were already pricey to begin with. It was like through a random quest, helping some glass worker out that you were able to commission this for free. You need somebody who can stain the glass evenly on both sides and cut them into lens shapes and then set them. So finding someone who could do that for cheap is not easy.
But do you think we could find them in the city? I mean, there should be more resources here.
Maybe, yeah, you might be able to find somebody who can, make them for you. But
I mean, if you can't find a way to get another pair for you, I could always try and, I'd have to take some measurements for a while, but just pop out one of those eyes and give you a better one.
I'm not popping out one of my eyes! Stop asking me!
Wait,
Well, I'm just mentioning it as an option.
Zuber, can't you duplicate stuff?
I can conjure things, but they only last about 60 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, Emilio, those have sentimental value to me, so I do want them back. But we could go out tomorrow or later today, I guess, and we'll find a local glassmaker and show them the product and commission a pair for you. How's that?
Alright, Amelia will take off glasses and hand them back.
Does the sun hurt
Thank
you?
you.
Oh yeah, very much so. I can't really see that well in sunlight. I'm not really a fan of it, but...
Is that why you miss all your spells?
Rude.
Well,
Like this is a safety concern. You should have said something earlier.
how would you like it if I shone a bright light into your eyes and then told you to cast spells?
I'm not blaming you for your disability. I'm advising you should have warned us before we went to the life or death situations.
I mean, I try, like I squint really hard and it kind of makes it better, but it gives me a terrible headache. It feels like I am constantly just like hearing drums in my head every time it's really bright sunlight outside. It's not great.
You fired arrows right next to me.
Did I hit you?
No, but you could have.
But
But
I
he didn't.
I'm not the most constituted of people. That could have killed me. Could have
Don't
killed any
worry,
one of us.
I didn't hit you. I try very hard not to hit my allies. You tend to all look like very bright blobs the further away you get from me. That's why I prefer when you guys stay closer.
Well, this talk of magic gave me an idea that isn't involving popping out your eyes. Could you bend down for just a moment?
What?
Okay, hold still.
Tingle's going
Oh,
to try
I
and
said-
use prestidigitation and tap it on Emilio's eye and make his eye be covered in blackness.
Poke him in the eye?
Yeah, because he can make a color appear on an object or a surface for 1 hour, and he's trying to make the surface of your eye be dark like a sunglass.
So you would
Sunglasses.
have to
Which eye
poke.
are you tapping?
You would
Left
have
or
to
right?
Yeah,
poke.
poke Emilio's eye.
Left or right?
Surprise, it was a surprise attack.
It
Let's
is.
do a 1d2 for left or right.
Just roll me a d20 to see if you hit.
Can I add Dex to it?
Yes.
Okay. Dexterity.
What's your AC, Emilio?
12.
Yeah, no. Like Emilio kind of pulls back as you reach for the eye really quick.
Tingle pokes forward and hits your eyelid. Now you have dark eyeshadow on one eyelid.
Amelia's gonna look in the reflection on the water.
The water's way down below. You guys are on top of the cliff.
Um,
Look
Well, I
at
can't
that.
tell if
I'll conjure a mirror.
It looks like someone punched you in one of your eyes.
Oh, it's actually kind of stylish. I don't mind this. But it would look better if it was on both of my eyes, maybe not one. I do look like I got punched.
I can agree with that.
Can I see
Yeah,
your
but
glasses?
try and keep your eye open this time, because, like,
I don't
you might
like
be able to
touching
see.
my eye.
It's just a poke.
I don't like people poking me in the eye. Hello? And he points to the giant rake down the side of his face. I don't like
Yeah.
people attacking my eyes.
Tingle, I've seen you cast that spell from like 10 feet away. Why do you need to be invasive right now?
Well, I just wanted to make sure I did it right, because, you know, I didn't want to make her eye, like, you know, get chilled or heated up or, you know, have a light appear on it or a little bit of flame.
Please
know.
don't cast things on either of them.
Zuberg will just take a detailed look at Val's glasses while she's wearing them and then conjure a pair and give it to Emilio.
Okay. Yeah. Duplicate.
I can actually see now for the first time in what feels like months. I can
Just
actually
remind me in an hour to make a new pair. We happy? This picnic's ruined now.
I didn't ruin it.
I think it's fine, but maybe we should think about heading back to the tavern and feeding our cat.
The sun is setting at this point, probably.
Yes, we'll recoup in the morning. I'll pick up my things and we should be ready to go.
Alrighty, I'll sell a sword.
Okay. So it is already getting relatively late. I just kind of let you guys go with the role play because a lot was being revealed. Did you guys want to pick up from here next time?
We could.
We'll write we'll just go over the things you guys want to buy or do really quickly so we could just kind of move the story forward a little before next session. But
We have tons of food for sandwiches, so we'll be fine on the road.
cured meats, you know, the bread and might go stale and the cheese
Yeah, it's got a couple days.
yeah
Through the
it'll
power
last
of
a few
each
days.
episode, we've all grown closer together.
Actually, surprisingly, yeah. Like normally, I would have to dig this shit out of you guys, but damn, a lot of it came out just naturally today. It was great.
I got a question, Tingle, before he goes to sleep now.
Okay.
I also wanted to talk to Zubrick still.
Did you guys want to?
Yeah, do you want to do that still, Emilio?
We can do that next session.
Or remember what you wanted to say?
Write it
I've
down.
been wanting to say these things for like 5 sessions. Don't worry, I'm good.
All right. Well, I guess we could call it an episode then today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I didn't really have to do too much as DM, which was kind of nice. I just listened. I was like a viewer. It was great. I hope you all enjoyed. I know like what happened to Lost and Found is a little kind of depressing. However, I hope you enjoyed the newfound Loston because he's kind of a dick. And
Same old Loston.
yeah. And otherwise, I hope you look forward to dealing with whatever is ailing the city or the town of Olgaris and the livestock there. Either way,
Definitely.
thank you all for playing. We'll be back in 1 week with more. Hopefully Ian will join us for the whole thing next time. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you all in a week. Goodbye.
Bye.